Yes, I baby.
For how any say and a wooing, justice and law solicitor said, Bomadiana brand and your mummy home como, on Bemo a futu, Nasay idea so to one more, on Bebout, no to one more. And immigration and answer nationality problems. Say a student application, family independent application. So pass it now, Kruma, and now lawyer Bino Jina one name or court amount, personal injury claims. Say employment, landlord and tenant issue.
Due to technical problem, we sort of went off air, but we are back. You know, as I say by NTJ, ebesai abebiem. And you know, sorry about this. One body to me to na mon try na mon share ma amount for no omonsa megusubiem. Na omuntiminti and sempana ye de ebremoneno. I can be a program the crowd English, but I take away no say mejiga be ni twi. Na just say yetimi ati asiye na aboa yenuanom nyina. Enti mesrepi say Udiama will be nasonia cro NTP language. Please do tell the person to do the best that they can. If you can translate it for people, that will also be good as well. You know, so I'll do the best that I can and speak both languages so that we get the message. I could see that a lot of people have tuned in. They don't speak the Ghanaian language, but I'll do the best that I can to mix it up, you know. Mix it up and rough it up so that, you know, one chapter a day will keep the devil away. So we do the best that we can to share the program. So if you're just tuning in, just do the best that you can, share the program for us. I will do the best that I can. For whatever reason, we just disappear from the screen. But we are back again, you know, until the bones are rotten. We never give up. We will keep coming back because the message is crucial and it's important to people. So we need to pass on that message to people for people to benefit from today's program. You know, so we did the best that we can to cover. People were sharing, it was flying, the numbers were going up, and for whatever reason, we just disappeared from the screen. So I do apologize for that. But I believe that, you know, we are going to start the program very shortly. We are waiting for people to catch up and for people to tune in. So we thank you for coming back. It's always a bit tricky if, you know, when you are dealing with technology. Unfortunately, we went off air, but we are back again, and I could see people flying back in. It's important that we talk about today's topic because I believe that it's going to help to solve a lot of problems that people may have, that people may encounter. So if you have just joined us again, please don't forget, keep sharing the program because when we run off, people would have also lost track. So, you know, send it back to them again so that they can tune in and get the link so that they can also watch the program. So please keep doing, keep sharing. As soon as we hit 40, I will then do what? I will then start the program. So I also have to share it again because the link that was shared, people would have lost the link. So please, I am asking you to help to spread the news that we are back again live on air. So please do the best that you can and share the program. I'm also going to do the best that I can to share the program so that people will still be able to watch this program live. As you know, we're doing it. It just disappeared from the screen. But we are back again. Thank God. Thank Jehovah. Thank Jah for that. And we will continue the program. Let me also share it to people as well. Because a lot of people do not know how to go to Facebook and get the link and all that. So we tend to get a lot of complaints. But in order to avoid that, let me just send it again so that people will also benefit from the live show. And those who are unable to watch the live show, they can always go back and watch it. So if you have tuned in, you have shared it already, I will encourage you to share it again. The reason, as I have stated, is that some people do not, they are not very good with technology. And as a result, sometimes, you know, once it goes off, you come back, they will not know how to go back in and listen to today's program. So I thank you all once again for joining me. I thank you all. Today is important. The first area that I think I would like to talk about is going to be an update of UK law. And I think the most important update is what I'm going to be talking about, which I believe will help our people, and especially those who have tuned in. We kind of always look for areas that will help people, and we will just bring the update so that we will all benefit from the program. Now, the first thing that I will talk about is the Guardian newspaper. They have reported on 14th of August, which was only yesterday, about a lawyer who made an application to the Home Office to bring his wife from Pakistan to the UK. And unfortunately, the application has been refused. The basis of the refusal was that the wife was coming to the UK to visit. That is the basis of the refusal. However, the basis of the application was for the wife to join the husband, who is a lawyer in the UK. So it goes to show the Home Office, they are not God. They can also make mistakes. So the moral of this story is that if a lawyer sends an application to the Home Office, or even if you send an application to the Home Office and the application is refused or is rejected, one way or the other, I think it's very, very important that you study the reasons for the refusal very, very, very carefully before you decide to see as to where the fault lay. Sometimes the lawyer may make mistake because the lawyer is also a human being. And sometimes the mistake will be from the Home Office. And sometimes the mistake may be from you as the applicant or as the sponsor. But for me, Lawyer Darko, I'm not interested in mistakes. I am only interested in solutions. How do we solve this problem? That is my number one concern when people come to see me. So it is important that we do understand where the mistake is coming from, where the problem is, and then look as to whether you can actually find a solution to this. So it is very, very important that we establish that. Make no mistake and do not think for one moment that the Home Office do not make mistakes. They do make mistakes, and statistics from the Immigration Tribunal Services or from the Her Majesty's Court and Tribunal Services shows us that 50% of appeals are successful. 50% of appeals are successful. So that means if you are appealing against the decision, there is a 50-50 chance that you will win your appeal. Those people calling me, unfortunately, I will not be able to answer. The telephone lines are not activated yet. So please do not call. So all that I say is this. There is a 50% chance that you will succeed in your appeals. And therefore, once a decision is made and you get the decision, you need to scrutinize the decision and ask yourself, am I going to succeed in this appeal? You need to look at the reasons for the refusal and see whether you can counter the allegations that have been made by the Home Office and whether realistically you can challenge the appeal. If the answer is yes, then of course you should go forward and fight it. If the answer is no, it may well be that you need to go back, take stock of the situation, and do what? And submit a fresh application. That is the reason why Justice and Law, we are so successful in what we do. Because we will be straight with you. And we will tell you as it is. No curves, no bends. It might not be what you want to hear at the time. But those who have listened to us, it has always helped them. So it's for this reason that we've been very, very successful. So this is a typical case whereby Home Office made a big mistake by refusing an application for a visa that they have not even applied for. So there you go. Home Office make mistakes, and it does happen. The second area that I will also talk about, those people living in Newham, London Borough. There has been an ongoing litigation against some of the management companies or landlords in East London because of bad accommodation given to residents, bad services given to residents in relation to social housing. This week, only yesterday, 14th of August 2020, the Guardian newspapers once again has reported that hundreds of families in temporary accommodation in East London have had their rent reduced by about 60% following a 4-year campaign against their corporate social landlords. The newspaper has reported that the London Borough of Newham announced this week that following a series of management issues, 250 properties in the borough, which were leased out by the council to the property management company MEARS, MEARS, will be transferred back into council management. The families who live in Custom House and Canning Town have previously told the Guardian that the homes that they live in are unsafe and unhealthy. So if you know a family member, a friend that lives within that area, I think it is worth it for them to inquire from the council as to whether the reduction of 60% of their rent is applicable to them. So if you are paying £1,000, you will end up now paying £400 because it is going to be reduced by 60%. So all those living within that area, people should let them know. Something that I would never forget. I was speaking to this Nigerian sister. This was back in the year 2009. Fola Shadi. She said something that I will never forget. I said, David, in life, if you don't ask, you don't get. So it goes to show, ask and you'll be given. If you don't ask, you don't get. It's as simple as ABCD. So if you have a family members living around that area, then by all means, please let them know. Because it's a lot of money. And if you don't know it, how are you going to make a claim? It is not possible to make a claim or to bring to their attention if you do not know it. So by all means, do the best that you can and spread the news. Today, we have been joined by our Honorable Pastor, Pastor Sa. Thank you very much for joining me today. I am very grateful. So that is how it goes. We do the program. We do the best that we can. Bring the update to benefit our people. Because through this program, someone may be saving £600 a month. God knows how long it could go on for. Just by tuning in to Lawyer Darko through Fire Life Radio and Justice and Law and David Darko Facebook account. So thank you very much for joining in. So those living in East London, it's important. London Borough of Newham. Do the best that you can. Get in touch with your housing officers and see whether the 60% is also applicable in your case. And, you know, you will get that 60% discount or off because of the complaint and the noise that people have made in this respect. Now, coronavirus. As we all know, this week, the last time I checked, the R rate, i.e. the reproduction rate or the infection rate, what they say is this. If one person gets coronavirus, the R rate is 3 because the person is likely to affect 3 people. So one person gets it, the person will affect 3 people. 3 people get it, it will affect, multiply by 3, it will affect 9 people. 9 people get it, multiply by 3, it will affect 27 people, and so on and so forth. So that makes this condition very, very deadly. Because as soon as the multiplication rate is just too much. And for that reason, unfortunately, the R rate is now more than 1, or at least 1. That means it's very serious. When it first started, the Prime Minister was using this calculation to make policy decisions. One of the lockdowns was that it was more than 1, and therefore we have to lock down. Now it's about 1 or above 1 again, but there hasn't been a lockdown. Now the government has thrown it back to us that we need to take precautions. We need to be very, very serious and do the right thing so that we don't affect others do not affect us. But unfortunately, sebio, a baby adibia mibu. Mano de suminaso. E we are saying kwasia for doso, intini we are saying bre. Because a nyansa for doso, and can nyansa for nyansa ever call ka, sebio, and kwasia sema inipedinti. Nanka amobi anya na sumdwi. But sebio, and kwasia for doso inti. I am not tembiana, and maybe I see problems. So I be brave. We a bibu. Coronavirus kumni papa. And so any person dinti. Measures are binding her in any kind in Ancrophobu and Ebuso. Say beacher, a real boy and Ancropho could go be brave. They go to the beach without care in the world. And as a result, unfortunately, places like Leicester, places like Manchester, and other places that you are aware of, they had to go on a local lockdown again because people were not adhering to the advice that the government was given. And as a result, people are still dying. It's very sad, but it's very unfortunate. Now, there's a speculation. Come September, October, November, December, the death rate is going to rocket. It's going to rocket high. Why? Because apparently the virus COVID-19, all that it is interested is reproduction. The virus doesn't have a brain, but all that it does is to reproduce. And once it reproduces and it affects you, it will attack the immune system, break it down. The next is that you are dead. Why am I serious about this? Because I don't want our people to die. I don't want to see people dying. I may not be a medical doctor, but I thank God for giving me understanding to be able to read this and to be able to share it with you. So now there is a prediction that the infection rate is going to go up and there's going to be a second wave and people are going to die. We can see it coming. The question is, what is it that you are doing to limit it, to reduce it? What is it that I am doing to limit it, to reduce it? We all have a role to play, and you need to play your part. The government, like I said, directly or indirectly, basically is telling people to use their common sense. And as a result, even some of the supermarkets, they have come up with their own policies. And some of the leading supermarkets, what they have said is, if you come to them and you are not wearing the mask, they will not force you to wear it. They expect you to use common sense and now wear it. But some of us, or some of the supermarkets, are also saying that no, you must wear it. So once again, it will depend on which supermarket that you go to. You know, Sainsbury's, for example, have stated that they will not challenge customers who are not wearing it. Cooperative has also said that they will not challenge them. Waitrose said that they will not refuse customers who are coming there to do what? To shop. Leaders are saying that they will leave it to the individuals. As they're also saying that whilst they recognize that there is a need to protect people, they will not force people to wear it. And some of the supermarkets are also saying that instead, they will what? They will do what? They will have a spare face mask at the entrance. And when you get there and you are not wearing one, they will encourage you to wear one. Brothers and sisters, those listening to us, I will say to you, in order to avoid embarrassment, please do the best that you can and carry a face mask wherever you go. So when you get there and they are enforcing it religiously, then it will not cause you embarrassment. Then you can then put it on. But for me, for your own safety and for the safety of others, I think it's vital that we all practice the wearing of the mask. I think it will help us big time if we are all wearing the mask. And this week, someone sent me an audio that I was watching. And to be honest, I realized that the mask, especially those of us that wear glasses, I was wearing the mask in a wrong way. So if time permits today, I will demonstrate how it works, or perhaps, according to some people, how the mask should be worn. And to be honest, since I started wearing the mask that way, it's helping me a lot, in the sense that I am able to breathe without difficulties. And those of us that wear glasses, as you can see, once you have the mask on and you are breathing, you will see that this become moisturized, it become foggy. You will see fog in your glasses and you hardly see. But when I started adapting that strategy, in fact, I'm wearing the mask and I don't have this problem anymore. And I thought that is a very clever way of wearing this mask. So perhaps I will share that with you as well, so that you can also benefit from today's program, and also to know how to put on the mask properly. Now, let's go to the main topic, and this is all that I will say in relation to the update. Those people, right, Edio, Yameo, say, Obi Shaye, now, when Timmy and I say is having a problem, in logging on, and I say, Obenya ye Facebooker, or my yenye aware don't sending a telephone number, mra. I will do the best that I can and send the person the direct link. Said yeah, on so a bit me idea, etimi a catch us up. Because as you know, no, the first one a breaky. Into now, we say a be 2 videos na a Facebook hono. First one no a breaky into kohonoma a becati quick. And it's all send him will be a mesro p. Sa send the beam, and yes, the person will be playing the old one a breaky, you know, which was about 10-15 minutes. And after that, the person might think the program is over. But the program now, African be starting. We say, be brutal. And then you be more practical advice. If he says, you see, it's a superma, a be boy p. If you see the BIA canon, you say, Nyanseni Kasa, and as I said, you said, you Jimmy for Kasa, Nanseni eti. Sana etie, a old African saying, Sana etie, and Tino Nyanseni Kasa, na yesaid, Ubiaso etie be. Nemum Jimmy for Casaswa, Yanseniti, Sana, ye canon, ewa abebu. Eti ene, say, among 4 essay or more in your program, no. Slim can see kind a breaking, Anna, yasai idea, ababaki beam, and Tina, ye bebo modena, yetimi idea, I'm a man for so answer aka program libium. And Tina, basically, any program no afina ye be starting. The American na ye di baby kwemu so afi na agro no eba ye se agro eno ane form ai o se agro ne be fi a yentrimika enkushia no enti sana etie e bomodin na omo ntimi enyan no ma send me text no me send ma omo sisi I know say sometimes no a distractive program ne kakra but obey the day penifo say we food also we ni nyina ana panyini susu wo fie na ma enkra ewe nanka ye kan nanka wefo a also oka ho bi saa na etie penifo susu yi hu a ana say ye pae bi hu nti ana ye chekere boa enti ye bobo moden na omo sankan no yetimi ede amom sesi a ese na ye di dwumadie no ahye so te se baba so enti mombe wo vas enti the American no ne titim ne tietie ma ne se ye nyina ye moden na yenye the best that we can na yen share the program no as you are all sharing enti da masepa mo amodi ato nyina na medical can be about blood pressure and the importance of say blood pressure no yebinya ho nimdie kakra last week ye kan wasef kakra Paradise City for other Roma almost so almost so atop pre-blood pressure machines ese yemfa nche every week bia no yemfa baako enche etie4 enti ene yebusa questions kakra na yebusa wia na afi no wa bewe ne no na ya post to april enti ene there is a prize for someone next week ye de baako so beche and then the following week ye de baako so ache wa want me anwen no we will still encourage you eso baako to blood pressure machine bi said ye ya oso betimi e de a check o blood pressure because blood pressure ekromwa omatoni din say a silent killer ekum enkrofo pa ye na osim di kan sika ye no agya me ofa owu ye nam sida bi mem so metena ho e masa di emekume timakoto blood pressure machine bia ene me nyina ene me yire ye nyina no we are taking our blood pressure almost every day. My wife of crowd say I have become addicted to it because sebu say one show ho a mochroman ebehwe intisa na etie ewiase so de sebu nyankopon se odi tumi ama ye nyina mentena ho ema yare emeku mentena ho ema umewu before your time enu nti na sebu yebo sa dewri na yede enema bi so eba bechi sedia ye nuanum ebimo anase mo amohwe mbetimi awe ne price no na mosmetimi ayede motimi e de check mo blood pressure sana etie enti no ebembo ehun modern na ya yede na yetimi de dwumadie no ahyehye so ka se me say time no eko na manfo so frefre ne nsanka mesre pi esetimi work it out how the computer works na eno setimi boaye enya sa na time bia ne be problem kakra amaye enti no betimi asend am microphone bebre e wo me linki ene through WhatsApp as well enti so nsa ka mesre pi usuni mu bia na wa for edi ama no na oni across so aye easy amanipa no na ono so etimi ayede ono so etimi ahwebi enya sa na time bia no na ye koyechi ti mesre pi mosmo moame na yesentimi mu amanfo na omso entimi enye de emfantoa enhwe program no enti program no na bibia enye kama ema ye nyina yeda masepi ene program anase topic a ye babe anything ene mpese me started with insamansie a ubeka say deathbed will na insamansie no ye culture mu anase ye culture mu no aya na bibia akwakoye bibia ye friend unwritten anase oral ye story kra no ohwe account for anase African story African history African religion is all based on word of mouth and no na ekwan bi so no adi yenya in the sense say it is not recorded and as a result many at times it can get fabricated and this include wills so in samansie say ye nitua no ye friend will na will no ye can ye culture mu de e two ways of making a will. Either we do the will by writing according to the Wills Act, or we do something called insamansie. Na insamansie no ye tete hodmo no na empenifo e ba be wu a. Omutimi e kire science bi e ma hu se opanyini ni tam e ya beso. Na personally there from my experience no, aya na emre p empenifo ne ba be wu a. Aya na they communicate with the ancestors from the spiritual world. I will say oji sanema wedi hwe bibi ni wiase a anka yeda anka ye ntupuru mu me de lawyer dakom I will tell you me huni ma pa na matin sem so baby ani eti na it's about 5 minutes from my himfie enti eka amane ene amamra sebio me hu bi ana masua bi enti ye tete no ye mpanin for when they were about to die our elders when they are about to die they can see it, they can see death calling them, no doubt about that, and as a result you will see them talking a lot about death when they are about to go. Not only that, they will also start mentioning the departure or all those who have died in the family. Sometimes they will tell you that they've seen them. Sometimes they will tell you that they are communicating with them. That is the power of human spirit. They communicate with the dead. Me, I will not challenge that because I've seen it with my own eyes. You will see that they will be mentioning the names of people who have died in the family. They will tell you that, oh, I've seen this person. Oh, I've seen this person. Oh, this person is calling me. This person is communicating with me. And that is the time that they know that their time is up, because the spirit of the ancestors is calling them to come and join them in the other world. That is the reason why in Akan language or in Twi language, we say Satman. Satman means wasan or man weho. Satman. Satman. Or sa means go. Wasan or man weho. So we say Saman. So Saman means wasan or man weho. So wasan or man weho dia na ehena woko. He is going to the other world to join the ancestors. So when the time comes, the ancestors are calling him to welcome him to that land. So that is the reason why believers, even within the Christian religion, they will tell you that when you die, you await judgment. Where do you await the judgment? The other world. So when it comes to Christian religion, it's proper based in African concept, but we don't know it. It's proper based in African concept and African beliefs and religions. So you move on to the other world and you await for your judgment. So because of that, some of our elders, when they can see that they are being called to the other land, they will start putting in place provisions that when I die, this is what I want done. When I die, this is what I want to see happening. So you will see that at the deathbed, that is where they will make their wills. Will, in legal terms, means that you are writing it down. But we call something customary will in Ghana. Customary will is based on oral, what the deceased or the person that is about to die will say when they see that they are about to die. So you will see that on their deathbed, they will say that, me down way, me will move from away, where you me busuan dia, where me ma dia, where you me yere dia, where you way dia, where you way dia, where you way dia. These are done at the deathbed in Samansie. So that is the traditional will. And then we have the modern will, according to the Wills Act, which is enshrined in the law. And it must comply with what we call the formalities of a will. The question, therefore, is, once it has complied with the formalities of a will it be valid under UK law? Will it be valid if you do it in UK under Ghana law? Let me just explain the formalities of a will and the validity of a will and answer that question, so that people who are torn between making a will in Ghana, UK, and properties in Ghana, UK, and vice versa, they can get a better understanding of what is happening. In both UK law and Ghana law is the Wills Act of 1971, what they call Act 360. And what it says is that you can make a will if you have the capacity. Who has got a capacity to make a will? A person will have a capacity to make a will if the person is age 18 years and above. That is the first requirement. You must be 18 years and above to make a will in Ghana. The will must be in writing, and it must express how the properties owned by the testator are to be distributed. So you make a will, it must be in writing, you must be 18, and you must have a property. The property must belong to you. The property must belong to you. we have already covered this. Dead body or dead body is not a property, so you cannot give it to anyone. We have already explained this when we made will about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Dead body, according to Ghana law, is the property, if it can be described as a property, of the family. And when we say family, tradition and culture plays a crucial role as to what constitutes a family. For example, if for me, I am married to say someone else, and for example, I am an Ashanti man. If I have a child, and if I'm married, I am not the property of my child or my wife. I'm the property of my maternal family. So they will decide what happens to me. Not my children, not my wife. Period. That is the law. So if you don't want your family members in this contest, perhaps to bury you, you make a will to cover that. Because if you don't, in an absence of an express wishes, your sister, your brother, your uncles, your aunties, they are your family. They will be doing everything. So we need to understand this. It's very, very important. And it is crucial. The only exception is where the person does not have a sound mind. The person has got mental health issues. If that person makes a will, it will be deemed to be invalid because the person lacked capacity. So, the person must be 18 or over. The will must be in writing and executed. And the person must have a sound mind. So, if you have a property in Ghana, for example, and you want to make a will, you have to put it down in writing. That is the formal will. You must be over 18 as you must be a sound mind. Now, let's look at the property. The property must be a property that the person making the will must be the owner of that property at the time of his death. Now, once again, property. Let's be careful here. If the property is solely owned by you, no problem. However, if you own the property with another person, problem. We need to be very careful here. When it comes to property ownership, we have something called joint ownership. And within the umbrella of a joint ownership, we have joint tenants or tenancy in common. We need to understand this. Joint tenant means the rule of survivorship takes place. So if I own a property, for example, with my wife as joint tenants, if I die, she takes it. If she dies, I take it absolutely. So no family member, no child, nobody under the sun can argue about the ownership of that property. If, for example, I go into a business with someone, I invest $1 million in that business. The person invests $1 million in that business. And the business is joint ownership, we are looking for trouble. If I die or if the person died, there is a real risk that all of it could become mine. And if I'm nasty, I will just take it without even giving it to the family. So it's important that when you are entering into an agreement with someone about ownership of a property or anything whatsoever, it's not about trust, it's about principle. And I will use this example and maybe you understand it better, because when I first saw it, I was criticizing them in my little mind, thinking that these people are they stupid. That's what I said. But now I understand why they did what they did. And I will explain it to you today. And I believe that some of us may have even seen something similar and they have questioned it. So what do we do? If a property is jointly owned, please make sure that the ownership is tenants in common. You own the property as tenants in common, not joint tenants. Because the joint tenants means if one dies, the other person takes it all. So even if you are going into a business with someone, you must let the person know that even though we have entered into this business as partners, but my share, my 50% share belongs to my family or my children. Your 50% share belongs to your family and your children. Because if you don't put in place something that expressly divide the ownership, you are looking at dispute. There has been so many cases in court, both in Ghana and the UK, where properties are held as joint tenants. One of them has passed away, and the person has made a will that my share in the property must go to my children. The other party said, no, we are joint tenants. You have passed on, and therefore I take it absolutely. And therefore there is a dispute. So for me to avoid some of these problems, from the beginning, make it very clear on any memorandum, any documentation that you may have. If it is a property and it is registered at the land registry in Ghana or the UK, they call something called the notice of severance. If you are not aware, then listen today and do the best that you can. Come and see Justice and Law. We will look into this for you. In fact, I've done it for a lot of people, where we've gone to the land registry and we have noticed that the property is registered as joint tenants. The parties are no longer together, and therefore we had to serve notice of severance to divide the ownership into two, so that in an event that one passes away, the ownership can be passed on to their children or to their family members. I gave an example some time ago about a Jamaican case that we were involved in, and I nearly cried about, in my view, what was injustice. But there is no injustice before the law. The law is what it is. The law is blind. You apply the law. Emotions doesn't make things right. Emotions does not make decisions. And therefore, that example was that they were together as couples. The man was abuser, beating the woman up. Police had to come in. The man ran away, and the man was no longer together with this woman. The woman lived alone for about 18 years, paid all the mortgage. The big mistake that she did was that she did not sever the ownership at the land registry. When she passed on, the sad thing is that her mother, her father had to come forward, do the funeral, do everything. But when we did the land registration search to find out the ownership, unfortunately, the property was being held as joint tenants, the ownership. And as a result, we have to look for this man. He came from nowhere, took the property, and gave the deceased parents £2,000 towards the funeral. The man was so annoyed that he did not accept the money. It was a big mistake. And it's a big lesson that I will never forget. For me, I always use that as an example because it was a bitter case. In my head, I said, no way. This must not happen. But it did. It's happened to someone. What do you need to do? What is it that you need to do so that it doesn't happen to you? You know, I always say this. It's important that we learn from the experience of others or the mistakes of others, rather than sitting there for it to happen to us before we learn from it. It's very, very important that we learn lessons from other people's experience. And I always say that I will continue to learn lessons from other people's experience because it makes you a better person. And it also helps you to avoid others' mistakes so that you don't repeat the same mistakes. Now, will, once it's drafted, it's got to be attested or it's got to be signed and witnessed. If someone is a beneficiary under the will, you must make sure that the person is not a witness and the person does not see the will. Why is it that the rule is there? That rule is there because, you know, our elders, and in their own wisdom, they believe that if you make a will in favor of someone and the person sees it, the person can speed your death so that he can benefit. Someone is watching me and the person might think, why would anyone do that? Believe me, Some people will kill for anything, for materialistic stuff. Look at Judas. He was very close to Jesus. What happened? He made sure that Jesus was sold. He betrayed him for coins. Esau and Jacob. What happened? Similar thing happened. So we should not sit there for history to repeat itself. Once you see this, you take measures and you do something about it. It's very, very important. You take measures and you do something about it. Will, as we all know, I did say, whether will be accepted in the UK if you do a Ghanaian will. Today, I'm pleased to say to you that if you do a will in Ghana, UK will accept it. And if you do a will in the UK, under Ghana law, they will also accept it. However, you have to make sure that the will depend on which jurisdiction that you made the will. You have to make sure that it complies with the law of the land where you made the will. So if you are making a will in the UK and you want it to apply in Ghana, make sure that it satisfies all the legal formalities in the UK. If you want the will to be valid in the UK, in an event that you do the will in Ghana, also make sure that all the formalities under Ghana law as I've been going through are also satisfied. But one thing that I will say about Ghana, if you make a will in Ghana or you make a will in the UK, with the hope that you can use it in Ghana, make sure that once the will is done and you go to Ghana on a holiday or whatever, make sure that you deposit one of the wills at the High Court. Make sure you deposit one of the wills at the High Court so that in future, your executors, i.e. those who you will appoint to be your executors, your estate administrators, they will then be able to get their hands on it and make sure that whatever you wanted to see happening after your demise are carried out. One sad thing about death and our culture is that if you die without a will, people will do whatever they want. Not what you want, whatever they want. And at this gesture, I will go and play this tape from Kofi TV, courtesy of Kofi TV. Kwame Kachirapia, his interview with Kofi TV. Let's just listen to this. And I believe that it's a lesson to us all. And we can learn something from this. What has happened following the demise of Kofi B. I mean, I listened to it and it's very sad. But unfortunately, that is life.
Dear ye coffee be now what you done in Yana Sebe, where Nini Baya and Sani Dean. A dim boning getting kitty be course one name yet, but Bra Lex now what Gia Diani see one. Sebi si kan kitty be in sense one normal day tonosono. A yama bufuse or no crown only if you crow back one or the coffee be bank crime. And I ye say, and I may come appear the any SME and Chinakamayim. And a my said, Mammy back off, no bra phone so a back off because. Me catch it almost a 7 year a year no. Now your papa Dr. Kwakuti Adonku. Or mammy a year on the 7th. 14th for the Yanina Sunian for hit no fikumasi. See a yana go see a yano crowd. Yan 5 year in 14th March. Omotiasia, no Massisano, near the 28. Near Assassin on the 4th April. Near Assassin 25th April. I saw my beginning yet. A where can we no yakan and us almost our time you say 28th March over the Quabo. They say Kofi B shall free Jim. Let it be at the video be buying the best friend Kofi B. Or see Kofi baby or Shannon. I want dinner or bread and Tian no see no. Me a video look of me. I send on now the up to 1 will be if I'm lying. Oh, I'm going to for every patch on the chairman of pay.
video ya me the mark of you watch here bushia. And now I video all by me die me no more fine and if it is a not be too fine. But me would my channel are going to my habit. But also that I would bet you are not in funny serious, but neither die or the brand, you know. And yeah, if I'm a chopper and someone come and message you, some better as them Permudia, so Permudia. Yeah, Mr. Ramoni number because I can't say you're done on pay, we see no brepa. The Dana Diana saw them who could feel no abiding and a more poor Diana, not Scofian and Hopos as well. We see you. Now there was a fracuma, bread. Catching a bush of no more see, and I won't need poverty, I cannot see coffee. You can win in America, because I'm your money in America. What's the baby of Fracuma? I'm stuck coffee. The Mugana media, but not Scofian, and Tiakas, you do know when you coffee when you do money. Also, Fracuma Coca. That's coffee, see away, Bassa. What's the idea about some bit may in the African or Cassani plus powder, you know? In fact, when it's a dreaming. Freddy sounds a come as a gibby, I could watch a bush for Nini and Mamma, Mr. Mopa. If Madame and Bonham was a but oh my tinting, especially coffee being Yaka to our no dinner chino coffee say no. Minim at the crowd or mope. Sabi, a drawback joy at Remau. Sabrana na hit jinamon see PBB Jacofi a Busian and then ma. At that time no, she say will be a refi. Bishop Bernard Nyaku radin fan a crancy. Well, we are my yabasi and Bernard Nyaku.
Now let us talk about the third law of motion. Well, it is called Newton's third law.
What will be idea near Quacosi? Will be idea near your point. I didn't see a Mayan not that fridge in best of 5 months. Yet, dang. Well, oh, my beam. Meaning, this is an ama, Yanino, I said, Catching a hookakra, because nay advice near them. Or be crack catch them, Busian, be catch them, plain. Sir, a Busian for no be say, see your coffee ye, Nibenia 2 billion. Me one among something thousand I make us, I make canoe granny Yahweh yammy. Say a benya 2 billion, none a ma for one, none a Busian for no minimum for one, and you come the back will no more 100 million, which is 10,000. Sabi can you can't say some way, a dear doing a voting. Sicana, dear, and repent to Sabio, Mincasa who so no pesca. A young crabia, Ubiaba Cordia. But we are now yammy, I be say, if we dear free. The coffee ye dear. Among 4 frame radio stations from him, and as I plan my papa said, there be a coffee ye and a day. Sabi means to Minyabusiani, Minyabusia penny, now a champion, said, ye be ya. A year no anymore, a year anymore. So, Mamma, not theatre. Me nim say now so cry a domini yaw no a farm on Bessan baby.
No, baby, from February, Miss I not which mission I searching yet. The BCSC, and
BCSC, but you see a coffee be or that's such a free. All my coffee free, Cape Coast, baby, and not that's a bread niche. I was your former cogena de Naco. I will go second on what you say no, only our Shanty region, only central region being. A coda that time no ne ye bend that's in. I know Mokatam coy, but yet because ye see could be an and tro. I say, oh, Yako to come for crying shame. Come church of my mere year. If I don't buy her cast, me we are cramming what you mean. And yes, said you come church or already, mobile, man, Chesunum. Nema mew. She Dominica Sabah, so for who could amaba. She could feed now what she. I am to phone in Nipper by Entiki and it was so year on the bosom me time, and Kayen because I think say a year no February, middle of February, hobby, be 13th was the 14th February, and I did in our Tridan. Etiki on the 14th March, I can't what would I say? Yeah, higher who be saying. Yeah, say a Busiano Nampany, say any animal Nampany, say a wine. Music, man, musicians, no dear, the sound of near yet. Yeah, we are ready to help say this year, brother. But because of Niamania, maybe I have Cosunantino. Ama, maybe I have a sa. But I want the bar. Get your Yababo. So, time be on Mupia. So, Matisse, so I'm saying, Corona and Crem. Corona. Every crem. But I near me, you know. And Tino, so much chance Corona, Betram, Nipa Domina or Mupeno. So, one team, Yan said you'll be a yan dear. No more bemana ten hours idea. Sabi, Omuna di omufuno. Yomopen omoyeno.
Then I say, Catchy.
Made I say, but as some cramek.
We dear Emperor for Yasuma. the Yankasa same way, Oya Wela, you avoid all this stuff. And will there very, very important. Oya Wela, the will speak for you. And in Pennyforce FN and Samansia no. And Samansia in the sense that whatever your wishes are, that is what will take precedence. It matters not what anyone will think or what anyone will feel. You make your will speaks for you after your demise. So the lesson from all these shenanigans is that you make a will. If you make a will in the UK and you follow the right procedure, the right formalities are followed, that will be valid under Ghana law. It will be valid in Ghana and vice versa. So by all means, that question, I believe, has been answered. You know, the idea that if you do a will in the UK, it will not be valid in Ghana and vice versa. That is not the case. As long as you follow the correct procedure, it will still be valid in Ghana. To better it, the advice that I have always given is as follows. You can make 2 wills if you live in Ghana and UK as well. You can make 2 wills. You can do one in Ghana and you can do another one in the UK. But what you must say in the will is that this will is not my last testament. Because as soon as you say it's your last testament, it will override any other will that you may have made. So you have to say that this will is supplementary. That is in addition to the one that you have already made in Ghana. So for example, if you have a house in Ghana, you have a farm in Ghana, you have something in Ghana, and you want to give it to someone, you could do a will for your properties in Ghana under Ghana Wills Act. And if you have properties in the UK and you want to make a will, you can also do a will under UK Wills Act, so that you make sure that those wills are not, if you like, conflicting each other, but instead they are complementing each other. And therefore, both will still be valid and will be enforceable under those jurisdictions. So you can do one will and say that this will is intended, you know, to be valid or to be applicable, to be recognized under Ghana law as well. So you can put that in so that your intention, the intentions of the testator is very, very clear. That when you are doing the will, you have taken into consideration Ghana law and the need for the will that you are making in the UK to be recognized under the Wills Act of Ghana. So that is the answer to that question that a lot of people have sent to me. So I hope that I have answered your question satisfactorily. So it's very important that you do a will. I always say this. If you do not make the decision, someone will make it for you. Now, I talk about spirits. Spirits are there, no doubt about that. Spirits are there. Everyone is God's spirit. Everyone is God's spirit. That is the reason why when you sleep, the soul comes out of the body. And as soon as you're about to wake up, the soul enters the body within a split second before you come back. That is the reason why we say that when you sleep, it's like death. If you want to taste death, if you want to know how it feels like dying, compare it to when you are asleep. So it's very, very important that we kind of be aware of these things. Now, let's shift to immigration and nationality law of the UK and look at EEA family members or extended family members and the test that the Home Office use when they are considering applications. And it is important that we do understand and think the way the Home Office think when they are making decisions concerning this type of applications. I've had a lot of people contacting me over the weeks, asking as to whether they can bring their family members as EEA nationals living and residing in the United Kingdom under EEA Immigration Regulations Act of 2006. And my answer has always been that yes, in theory, it's possible, but whether you be able to satisfy the requirement is also another thing. So today, let's have a look at it. And also to give a bit of a hint to our brothers and sisters who have basically been granted 5 years visa as an extended family members of European national, and what they need to watch out for, the pitfalls when it comes to the application for permanent residency or indefinite leave to remain or settlement scheme visa. I have to look at this again so that our people be conscious of this fact. Like I say, if you are a European national and you are residing in the UK, the law makes it possible to bring your family members to join you in the UK. But one thing that we must bear in mind is this. The law also makes it very, very clear that if you are bringing your family members, they must not become unreasonable burden to the UK government. And when we say unreasonable burden to the UK government, what does that mean? It means that you have to be able to demonstrate that financially you are in a position to provide for your family members. So it's not a matter of, oh, I want to bring my family members and therefore I'm going to bring them. They need to take into consideration your income as well. If your income doesn't look good, if your income is not good, then of course you cannot bring people. Many a times people say, is there any financial requirement that you must meet before you are able to bring your family members? I've always said that there is no financial requirement. However, the law is that you must not become you and your family members must not become a reasonable burden to the host country. That means you have to financially, you have to be able to demonstrate that you have the means, the money to be able to provide for them when they come to the UK. So for example, you are working, you are earning about £1,500. You claim that you are living in a 2-bedrooms accommodation. The rent alone comes to about £1,200. Mind you, you'll be left with disposable income of about £300. You have to pay your bills, you have to buy food. £300 for a man or a woman living in the UK for a month, including payment of bills and also food. Would that be sufficient? That is the question that you need to ask yourself. If you think the answer is no, then there's no point in making such application. Because if the answer is yes, then you could make the application. But the reality is that the answer is likely to be no. Why is it likely to be no? Because £300 living in London will not be sufficient, unfortunately. And if the truth are to be told, it will simply not be sufficient. And therefore, we need to do what? We need to be able to, if you like, be realistic with people. And if you are bringing people, you need to make sure that you work the mass out yourself. So for me, if, for example, you are earning about £1,500, your rent is about, say, £500, you'll be left with a lot more disposable income of about £900. £900 paying bills and looking after 2 different people as family members. I think that is reasonable. It's realistic. And therefore, if you make such application, you are likely to be successful than not. So we need to watch, bear this in mind when we are making such applications. When we say extended family members or other family members, we are looking at maybe brothers and sisters, cousins, uncles, nephews, and so on and so forth. And you need to be able to demonstrate that you are related to these people as you are claiming. So evidence of relationship is crucial. So Home Office, we call something Immigration Directorate Instructions Book. And this is a Home Office published guidelines. As you can see, it's to their staff members. This is what Lawyer Darko I use when I am looking at applications and when people come to me for an advice. These are some of the books that I use, I consult in order to be able to advise people. That is the reason why we are so successful in what we do. Justice and law solicitors, we are #1 in the business. No shaking, we do the best that we can. And even cases that has messed up, we are able to bring them alive, resurrect the case, and renovate those cases and make sure that the individuals achieve their objectives. So this is how we operate. This is how it is. Home Office, the first question that they're going to ask themselves is this. The sponsor. You are sponsoring someone to come to the UK to join you for settlement. The question that they will ask themselves is the sponsor, is he an EEA national? If he is, you need evidence of nationality such as passport and ID card and so on and so forth. The next question therefore is this person exercising treaty rights? Is the person working as an example, or is the person in education and has comprehensive insurance? Is the person self-employed? Has the person set up a business in the UK, or has the person is in involuntary and therefore is unable to work? If one of those applies and you're a qualified person, then the first box is ticked. No problem at all. If you don't include evidence of identity, they will refuse you with no right of appeal. That is the Home Office requirement. It's as simple as that. Let's look at the second requirement. Second requirement is of evidence of relationship. So they will need your birth certificate and in some cases DNAs to link the applicant and the sponsor together. So it is very, very, very important that you have this. If you cannot provide evidence of relationship, application gets refused without the right of an appeal. Now we move on to the third stage, qualifying conditions. Third stage is the qualifying conditions that applies to extended family members or even immediate family members who are over the age of 21. So here, people must listen. I nearly had a case that nearly got refused because of this point 3. Because the individual was going for indefinite leave to remain. And I am so glad that the mother listened to my advice. Past 6 years, and I told the mother that since your son is now 25, by the time that your son is applying for indefinite, your son will be 30 years. Home Office, there will be suspicion that he is old enough to provide and look for himself, and therefore he wouldn't need you. So for that reason, make sure that you have evidence of dependency. I know that you are living with your son. I know that you provide for your son, but Home Office doesn't leave you at your address, and they don't know that. And for that reason, you need to back it up with evidence. So when it comes to extended family members, and also your children who are over the age of 21, at the time of the application, being 5 years time, 4 years time, 3 years time, and so on and so forth, you need to be able to demonstrate financial dependency. It is for this reason that a lot of people are getting their applications refused, because they have been unable to demonstrate financial dependency, and hence a lot of them are having problems. So if you are bringing an extended family member, you need to provide evidence to show that your extended family member is financially dependent on you, and that financial dependency is as a matter of necessity, not as a matter of choice. It's crucial. It's very, very important. As a matter of necessity, it has become necessary for you, the sponsor who is an EEA national, to provide for A or B or C. So if, for example, the person has got their own parents, they will be expecting their parents to provide for them. If for whatever reason their parents are unable to provide for them, you need evidence why their own parents cannot provide for them, and the need for you to step in as a matter of necessity and provide for those people. It's very, very important. So you do that, and you put that in place. So when it comes to evidence of financial dependency, Home Office will be expecting to see a bank statement, money transfer from the sponsor's account to the applicant's account, or money transfer receipts sent between or sent by the sponsor to the applicant, and plus evidence or membership of the EEA national's household, such as utility bills, tenancy agreement, mortgage agreement, and any other evidence of cohabitation, either in the country where the applicant is, if you are applying for indefinite, in the country that you are living in. So, for example, what does this mean? It means that you have to satisfy the stage 3 test. That is evidence of financial dependency. So if you are over 21, for example, you have been granted 5 years, you are already in the UK, United Kingdom. Yes, you have been given 5 years, the visa says you can work. That is a trap. As soon as you start working and you are supporting yourself, when the 5 years is up and you cannot demonstrate that you depend on your EEA national, your application will be refused. Like I said, morality and also, what do we call it? Emotions doesn't play any role in law. You can be emotional all that you want. The law is the law. The law must be applied. So it is very, very important that even though you have been granted the right to work, you can work full time and so on and so forth. As far as the Home Office is concerned, when they are, looking at your application for indefinite leave to remain or permanent residency, all that they care about is, do you have a bank statement that shows that your mother or your father, who is the EEA national, transfer money into your accounts? If the answer is yes, ce n'est pas problème. If the answer is no, problème. Simple. So it's very, very important that we listen to this. It's very, very important. Because you cannot have a situation where you, the applicant, you are earning about £3,000 a month. And the person that you are supposed to be depending on, the person is earning £1,200. Who born dog? It will not work that way. And a very, very important. I said we are aware of this. If you want to bring a family member, the law says you can bring a family member. But you need to make sure that there is a financial dependency and also a membership of the household. So it's very, very important that you have this you are able to meet these requirements. If not, forget it. You look at test 4. It goes on to say that membership of household means that the EEA national must be in control of the house. How can the EEA national be in control of the house? Maybe he's the owner. He's the one renting it for your benefit. It's very, very important that we have this in place. Because if you don't, come 5 years, your application will be refused. So many people have come to me and unfortunately I was unable to help them because they don't have any financial evidence of dependency. So for me, how do you prove dependency? It's important that you have a bank account. All that you care about is your mother or father, who is the EEA national, is transferring monies into that account on a regular basis for your upkeep. Period. How you spend your money, I don't care about that. As long as your EEA national is providing for you, it's evidence that you are depending on him. As long as you are residing in the same household, all your documents are passing through the same household, there's a strong evidence to show that you've been living together for 5 years. That's what the Home Office is looking for. But unfortunately, if you think you are big enough, you have to live somewhere else. And you submit an application and you have evidence that shows that you haven't been living with your parents, who is the EEA national, and maybe the other parent in the same household, your application will be refused. So it is important, those of us who have been granted 5 years EEA permanent residency visa, please make sure that you don't become unbecoming and you don't become too big for your shoes. You don't think that you are big enough to get your own place. You don't think that you don't need your parents because you've been given 5 years and that you can work. Yes, the law says you can work, but when it comes to indefinite leave to remain or the permanent residency, then of course, that is the law that is going to be applied. And if you cannot satisfy the rules, the visa will not be given to you. It's unfortunate, but it's as simple as that. A lot of people have lost their visas because of that. Because as soon as they get 5 years, they feel big, they beat their parents, they insult their parents, they move from the family home, they go and rent their own place with their boyfriends and their girlfriends. Come 5 years, no evidence of dependency, no evidence of membership of a household. At that stage, they run to Lawyer Darko. Lawyer Darko, I want you to perform a miracle. Not all miracles can be performed by a man, but except Jesus. When you do that, you don't need me, you need God, because you need salvation. There'll be nothing that any lawyer can do for you. Because the law is the law, like I said. Emotions does not equate to truth. So we need to bear that in mind. Today, I'm spitting it straight because after we've come out of the European Union, a lot is going to happen. And I must also say this to our listeners. Under European law, if you divorce your wife or your husband after 3 years, and you are able to meet the retention requirement, that is, if you can prove that you've been living together for at least 3 years. Sorry, you've been married for at least 3 years, that you live together for 1 year. Your spouse has been in employment continuously up to the time of the divorce, and you have worked continuously up to the time of the application or at the 5-year period. You can retain your right and get your visa without any problems. Yes, under European law, that is the case. But bear in mind, we are coming out of the European Union. The European law will no longer be applicable under UK law. And therefore, UK government can change the law and do whatever it wants once we come out of the European Union. So if you are thinking of divorcing your wife on the basis of retention, then this is an advice for you. You have to make your own decision. But on an event that the law changes, that UK can turn around and say that retention is no longer applicable in the United Kingdom after 1st of January. If you've gone ahead and you've divorced your wife or your husband in an anticipation of making an application next year for retention of your EEC right, you could be caught by this tsunami. So be careful, because nobody knows tomorrow, and therefore we have to be very, very, very careful. Okay, let's put that aside and let's go to advice to employers. Advice to employers. Let's see what employers also have to do. The reason why we are looking at it from employers' point of view is that the advice that has been given to employers, as an employee, you can also learn from this. It's very, very crucial. Because if you know you are working and you know what your employer is thinking, then you will also know what to do. So we need to look at that as well. We need to look at that as well. It will help us. Now, advice to employers. Any employees, we should listen to this, and I'm reading it. Any employees of European Economic Area or those with Swiss nationality and their non-EU family members living in the UK before 31st of December 2020 should apply for the EU settlement scheme. We have said this. Those who do not apply by 30th of June 2021 will potentially become unlawfully present in the UK, meaning they will be unable to continue to work here legally. This is advice that has been given to employers in the UK. Now, you could see that we are talking about 2 dates here. And one of my clients brought this to my attention this week, that he was listening to another lawyer on another radio station. And the lawyer was adamant that the cutoff period is 30th of June 2021. So let me take this opportunity to explain it properly. Because after explaining it to my client, he sat there and was like, oh, you are explaining it properly. As a justice and law, we are like beating and coaching. We beat people and we coach them. You know, it's very, very important that we understand this properly. Why is that the case? We have 2 dates here because nobody knows tomorrow what is going to happen. And therefore, it's important that we understand the 2 dates. What the position is this. If there is a deal, UK government and the European Union have agreed to a deal by 31st of December, then those who are already in the UK, will have the opportunity to apply up to the 30th of June 2021. Not those who are coming in. And therefore, if there is no deal by 31st of December 2020, everything comes to a halt. Period. So for me, Lawyer Darko, I would rather take precaution and do it on the basis that there's going to be no deal, so that you target for 31st of December. Put in your application, do whatever you need to do, and get yourself out of a situation. Don't wait until it is too late before you start making and rushing to make your applications. So what I will say is this. Yes, whilst there are 2 dates, if there is a deal, those who are already here will be given a grace period of 6 months to do the application by 30th of June 2021. But those who are not here, those who wants to come in, they will have to apply for visa before coming in, even including Europeans from 1st of January 2021. But those who are already here, those who are already family members, of course, they can put in the application after, if there is a deal, up to 30th of June 2021. So we should all take note of this. But we must also bear in mind that none of this applies to Irish nationals and Irish frontier workers who are not required to apply for the scheme. And therefore, the advice, my position is that if you are a family member of an EU national, if you are EU national, you must apply for settlement scheme by 31st of December 2020. This means anybody who has been living in the UK, who has been granted permanent residency visa, blue card, registration certificate, residency card, you must, as a matter of necessity, get in touch with Justice and Law solicitors, book appointment, come and see us so that we can apply for your settlement scheme for you before it is too late. Because from 1st of January, employers will start asking European family members, European nationals, whether they have applied for settlement scheme, and if they have not applied, they could get rid of them. They could become illegal. They could be here unlawfully. It will depend whether there is a deal or no deal. So please, pastors, opinion leaders, people living within our communities, people watching us, you must take this to the pulpit and tell your congregation that it is important that they also do this. Because as a pastor, for me, pastors, people listen to you. Don't sit there for your church members to become illegal immigrants before you start calling Lawyer Darko. You must take the initiatives now. You must tell them tomorrow that if they have not already applied, if they are EU nationals living in the UK, if they have acquired a visa under EU law and they are living in the UK, they must, even if you are not coming to Lawyer Darko, you must contact a lawyer and apply to regularize your stay. Because if you don't, and you are a pastor, and you have heard this, and you fail to tell your congregation, then your pastor, the job that you are doing, we need to question you. Because you are leading your church members to hell, not to heaven. Because for me, it makes no sense to be preaching to someone who is starving. It makes no sense to be preaching to someone who is burdened with worries because of lack of information. Like the Bible says, lack of knowledge, my people will perish. So if you're a pastor and you are the shepherd and you allow your sheep to perish, that is not a blessing, and that will not help you in your in your ways, also in your job, and also it will not help you to lead people to salvation. Instead, you'll be leading people to hell. So you also need to do your bit. Friends, family members, you all have to spread the news. You have to let people know that there is an avalanche of tsunami by way of the withdrawal agreement come 1st of January. We can sit here and say that it will not happen to us. We can sit here and say that it is not necessary. The Windrush generation, the same thing happened to them. Some of them have died because of that. They have suffered from blood pressure and other illnesses. And the sad thing is, there was one in the news, this man was suffering from cancer. And he was told that he does not qualify to receive free treatment under the NHS because he's unable to prove his right to stay in the UK. I don't know what happened to him, but a lot of people have died needlessly as a result of their inability to bring documentation to show that they have the right to live in the UK, or because, unfortunately, as a result of ignorance, or sometimes out of results of other stuff, they were unable to regularize their stay and catch up with the law. Please, let's not sit there for this to happen to another generation, just like as it has happened to the Windrush generation. Do your bit, I'm doing my bit, and I believe with your help, we will get there. Now, employers, sponsorship licenses. Home Office have also advised them that they should review any existing sponsorship licenses to ensure that those people who are working there, those people that they've granted licensing to, those people that they are sponsoring, if they are European nationals or family members, they have applied for settlement scheme. If they have not applied for it, they could become illegals in the UK. And this is something that people should also bear in mind. If someone is telling you, oh, you still have time, please, time and tide wait for no man. You'll be sitting there today thinking that tomorrow belongs to you. But tomorrow does not belong to anyone. Tomorrow only belongs to God Almighty God. So, all that I say to you is, let's assume that the deadline is 31st, and work with that deadline. Let's work with that deadline, because if you work with that deadline, and then in an event that there is a deal and it is no longer necessary, it's become not necessary to apply by 31st, at least you would have secured yourself, you would have secured your family members, and the chance of you become illegal in the UK will also reduces. So I would say to you that, let's do the best that we can. We all have to play our part. Let's, do the best that we can and spread the news so that the ignorant out there, we can feed these people so that they can also do what is right for themselves. Because if you don't know, you don't know. But if you know it, you can do something about it. Let's spread the news. And, if you are able to educate people for them to do the right thing by themselves, for themselves and for their family, then of course you have also played your bit, and you would have also done your bit. It's been 2 hours now. You will invite Mr. Ishan, and we will also speak to Paradise City briefly. They've done well. As I said from the beginning, they have bought blood pressure machines. Blood pressure machine that they have given to us to give away. And we will forever be grateful to them as well for their participation, and also their role that they are playing in educating Ghanaians and also our listeners, Africans, and the world at large. We thank them for that. So now let's just invite Mr. Ishan, but before he comes on the line, let's go to Paradise City first.
Moving here, moving there.
Welcome, Paradise City. Welcome you. Welcome, welcome. Yes, come and fill our temple. We've got Paradise City on air. Paradise City, welcome. Come and fill us our knees. Paradise City, welcome to Fire Life Radio. Welcome to Justice and Law. And welcome to Lawyer Darko's Facebook page. Good morning to you, Nettie. Nyame adom. Nyame adom. Eja yese ensemoni ntida ye chiche edin baakofo akohu odansani wo he. Na yeda wase pi emese Roma emese last week program no you were touched by it. We decided say mobeto blood pressure machine miensa ama wiki bia no yede baako ache ye tiefo. Na sedio adansi di enti anti na se chiche edin na ensemoni nti anya chiche edin no. Me di chire screen no na amanfo hu say Paradise City mo ka asem a moyo enya se mbedwudwomanum na mo kom baabi so ho because enen ne kure asa se de mo si mani titwa no amanfo test lawyer mamba ako ade e for de obi anu a wo mpe me kura ka minya ka me greed nti ka me di na be si me fie na ka me de ba ko ahya ha na me ba ko ahya na me ba ko abo me nan na me check me blood pressure everywhere and so no greedy enya adepa se nim de tu Judas odidi nyan Jesus asiko yi ne maaye se na nkonim se nko kwa koyi na maka ema Jesus aye great kra na nko anyina ama enti na Paradise City for amada Roma the machine yensa na aba ene ye de eba beche ye de ba ko beche ene na next week ye de ba ko ache na the following week ye de ba ko so ache aya miensa se do bi kaka se la da ko ye de ba na watena so eno nti na ene me de aba besi anemo no media me plain no me menye bukata ana me mfa ne mensiesi de me ka no sa na me dwene me nka bibi enwene ade foforo sa na tie me ye fe ne say obubu labu ubuga ne mabu me ka ne fe ma ye free me ka de pain ana sometimes so can cry say wonye ntimi de sa na me tie eye me say eye opeku me the worst you can do is to kill me ukumi a wo de ahye Nyankopon ani monyam because the Osman say me na sasi so no se metam nso ya enya de ameko sana etie enti Paradise City for yedamase papa ese mosomonya etiefo ho do na mato machine yibi ede abase yemfa enche enkrofo na yekase de chobi just like that enye fair because ewiase de obi aye bias ebia me hwem za me so enifa we minim nti ma me mfama no minim bu enti ma me mfama no na ebia obi a wo hia pa no ebia na ankoho. Last week ye show enkrofo bebre fry na lawyer ana me me pa chopi enu nti na ye de aba afidie ne so no pa so frɛ sɛ wo fɛre a ene anya de abenya bi because sɛ wan ka wo yare enhu wan ka wo yare a unya anu aduro sana etie entu pebia fa fɛre to nkyɛn ne frɛ na question we busa na wo so timi twa ye do de abrɛw last week ma me boat man frɛ ne de ya order nam kwan so ekɔ ne ho straight away ana ye ka ye me gina be dwa enum odwa ye chiri wade no way we don't do that enti Paradise City for baba kan yensa de a na e wo say yiti de omo so ede ebreye ene anopai ene awie Madam PC ne Mr PC enkrofo say Mr PC they don't be so much voice but every time you there for the background where you know talk but today nkwa de it be today you go talk people want to hear your voice so Madam PC ede na o mayene.
Oh, it's so the I'm yet to share so now, my enqua. Now you come on this program every time. A very active for community, a good say, you dear home butter like who can last week program your ba especially if you Ghana, that's your back from Muhammad say stories now titi about how and call for ye woo na ye share who see ye na taking your man kitty bi na it's me save your life but yeah for some reason it's me and it's a good opportunity to support the community every time Biana will look out to see how our betima abwa yehone yehon. I believe say we Yameba is part of what shed here, and also be these sort of things. Yeah, Kahuna, yeah, Paradise City too, because they knew how much and for properties, we physically cry, emotionally, mentally, properties, for ayabasa na and yeah, fine, say. Yeah, there's solve all the problems in the world, but kakana nyamedia ma say solve no now also never thing I know now the solve to send ya Mr. Shen there am where or they support community no yes yeah dear dying yeah the obi fire life over no. The discount of 2% is still applicable to go for and you know come what may, no matter what yeah mediatum akomasono and kakran to say blood pressure drona you bet me alongside yeah no so yeah koye new okay,
Madam PC.
Yes.
Yeah, can blood pressure once any machines are with the abbey. A densey who sit down Ghana, walk or land, that is Sika Comer Busiane and for can it lead to blood pressure? And can it kill?
It can very sharp, straight. Especially say the ska koma abusia obi of course obviously we ska koma abusia because we needy and see we needy if we say what to why the bia amwaka na say maybe somehow we decided so surprise say oh ko hono mo ana wadan fu bi ko hono mo ti anko check him out not ma news ne say and causing your corner now, wow, stressing your brain within a second, it can kill you. Nyami and Bwawa. It's me buffer trim, you know, because Sika moja sweat na udinya seskano, and so you are hoping say unya seskana, we may just something beneficial out of it. Man is now dream bread a number of years. After sorry now I say now the Saska Kitwana kept me away now Sabbath start all over again. Yamin come one lawyer and yasampa you won't be brave
and no name blood need buffon crow for you.
That's straight, just a straight up, you know, straight up. Why like ya maybe why a vegetable? I don't cry so. Yami amwawa na.
That's it. No, I'm no.
That's it.
Sika eye moja ampa. Se utia Paradise City for na moti o munkano. Paradise City eye campaign a omo ACC adan. Na at the moment omo project omo ye. Or Teba Community 25 and project aye koso no amanfo bibra akɔhwɛ ama obi kra de wan kan kyerɛ me ɔno an de fa akiri kɔhwɛ because osi ewiasa yim ɔno onye obi ani but ɔno asoso bae no ɔno abeka nasem ama sisi also be get in touch of Paradise City enti no na kyerɛ de ɛkɔso hɔ no me de ne sɛ ɔmebɛma opportunity ne sɛ opa wa akɔhwɛ for wani gani ana sɛ opa family member akɔhwɛ speak to them, they will arrange for your family member to go and see. If you are satisfied, that they will also give you the opportunity to get a lawyer involved. Because almost say almost transparent. I can understand why people sometimes are cautious because of what others have done. And say you lawyer said ye. Obit me being an say me gan any lawyer means see who be what da because omina said you omi akoshifo omo nyo mojumeyi. Ebi mo kasa asem ni de bia na me de meka e de ahye Nyankopon ani bonyam say Obia what can be biaba justice and law bia has confessed say a radie as my meka ye matwa sign. Sana nyamitimi ye ne niema because baby abeko bia no your papa ane ye bone sebio omo mun free Ghana no ebisu di Ghana fo awu pa enso no de ye nuanom ye kan ya no tum be Ghana ni a ye be bone chiam na tete because ye na ye Ghana for but ni nyina minimum de I always say this any situation bia no you can make positive out of it because me starting my profession na ma perception no na very common. I decided to say I would do my things the different way. I would do it the right way. And untina ene obitimi took car all the way from Scotland. No about who justice and law solicitor just for 1 hour consultation. What drive was 7 hours just to see me for 1 hour. Why would anyone do that? Ono nim di obenye free. Obi drive all the way from Wales. Now aba even London akra no obi wo Brent ho baby. Now aba oba akra no 2010. Oba say me pacho Mr. Dako. And I'm so yeah Mr. Dako what na say no atenase. Me here ready and friend I'm so pacho brawai. After you call main office on no to nani. Office said do be such baby Mr. Dako be free baby ba. No say busa me be oh, me show Mr. Dako. And I'm saying, me am Mr. Dako in Titanase. Imagine was with a lawyer small boy. You can imagine. But anybody also, and Cocrafo no call moon or went me amuano. And so, me small boy, no, and an agony no. Or no, a home boom, and Unyana Yarisa. Jesus, if I saw a catcher, and our carpenter body and winning.
Yep.
And so, young couple, baby, and it does winning. No. I want with me fa any paso at the end century. And you know, Ebia, this is your opportunity to own a house in Ghana. Said you been could do sika media me yakrane say. Ye do sika na ko kan. Now why we are victim no? Ya turning on say what about be aggressor. Now the way do sika man when any body are feeling no more about be a victim. How can that happen? Unfortunately, that's our community. And you know, the only way to overcome some of these problems, they say, get in touch with builders like Paradise City. Now, almost sort out because they say tema so the because of roadworks in you know, I must say I can't tema a boom. So and you know, easy access. As they say, skyline training and kick the way Ghana is developing, you know. So 1 year fast now, 1 new piece of land that time will come out. Unye binto. Yeah. And you know. Sabi obi ka se me de krum ana met na Ghana de me de ye de me nkoye hwe wo hono mo obi nim akina asem me say se bi mkasa se me kan nkrofo osre se me peska me nko hia ni wo so ntumi fo me peska me ko skani ho so ni ma unso ohia ni bia so adwene a ye de investment peska ne shane se mo bebulo so it's very very important as at least own a piece of land in Ghana me because a piece of land and yes asase kwa wo asase edensi so sebio ma omukọ holiday a omutimi ka say meja anase mena esoso ewo asase bi o Ghana metimi akotena so ennesi American ye wakrabo Italy wakotena Akuapem Mountains so baby on the ngure mu akotena o see he's happy there, he's close to nature so entine yentu anamon na yemnya baby ni emfa yensensi because your pensioner yenti metena wo we musa wo edru baby you want to go back home and chill because the crew was stress and sometimes it's too much and to go pension age wo pe baby a wo dansu obi ho so what the mama mukli Lake Bosom chain so if you Ashanti regional wo the peland bi wo ne sick bibi kitu abi si so na wo sorry na social lake na masa is the most peaceful place on earth wo dear opa try maybe I have tried it and it's the most peaceful place on earth. O paso Alabadi Beach. Where the Bena boy na kan yo nya na me kan ye. O so na Jesus city. O se wo hwe nsuo na e bedu baby ase nsuo ne sky air ya bom. O sha you feel at peace with yourself. Bena boy Nigerian musician na kan yo. Enya me na me kan ye. Na me mom there Jesus na me hu no na spiritually cha me feel here no. It was a Lake Bosom chain. Udru ho na ewiana bo na lake na you cold. Oh massa. Start feeling me nya bi o baby ada. Menim wife koi ono so say feeling onya baby onya bi o baby ada. We feeling with you do of Lake Bosomtwe. Enti no so wo hwe ya pe baby obi ane ne baby a wo pe. So ho na so pe baby a peaceful. Said yeah, uko pensioner, you can go there and chill. As I speak to you, I have a friend, and the friend is also called David, a Jamaican. His father, Montego Bay in Jamaica. What do you feel? Now, who papa na? Why is a small boy? Who na change that you come now? But you see, boy life no. Who in summer, winter by a no ko, March no aba. See who I'm say you are growing, you are growing young. Why? Every time I see you, you are getting younger and younger. I say, yeah, man, that's a plan, you know. Me go to Montego Bay, me spend 6 months, me come to England for 6 months, me don't catch no winter. No, man, me don't no winter, me don't want no winter. So winter time no, kono ako chile. Tembia no to we vitamin D na air koso. Enti no, a strategy ebe buona mene nyina che. The pension oje no de ko Jamaica bebre, obedia na wowu. Say the power na owu abun se ni fru ne sere because wa ginani we did there and say na owu. Enti yen try na yen sua sa na ma we bi because me de me hu ye no straight away it went into my brain and that's exactly what I would do. You know, enti no sa na tie enti no option na then you have to take the necessary action and do it because you never know. Media, my place is the Lake Bosomtwe area. I love the place. I fell in love with the place. Obiane ne de tema so no my target o enti Paradise City you will hear from us soon. You will hear from us soon, you know. Enti no yemo your homeworking name me nimre because opportunity there you say about once it's gone enti yemo me nimre nya bibi ensifie said the ada achi say ofifia we you so nsa achi se be ye woda enti se won sayem ana no ma bia so ni wa owu e wo soro a ne ntakra e ma fom asase bia nchiri funu ebie besi wo ha ebie besi wo ho bo bi ni baby obewu ana obi ni baby besi wo especially ye kan real ho asem no wanye real obi be ka cho say ye nhyew na ye fancy kromu e ya wanye real obi ka say ye fan ko Ghana enti no you never know what's going to happen enti no it is important I say we have to take advantage of these things and do it. And you know, yada masipi Paradise City will be abiti when we can one. And I said, Mr. Paradise, you wanna have a word as well?
All right. Thank you very much for program. And what it says, my comfort show if they want to buy a property or something, Mamo show. In terms of 6 so they shouldn't be scared of anything. If it's mortgage as low as £400, let me have only 2 bedrooms, so they shouldn't be scared. And we are telling them said there are so many plans in there now everything in somehow. So we are trying to have everybody now extra special to watch me about now and in regards to programs so far, so much in love with the programs so far. Those they are all bullet programs, so we still listen all the time. So we are waiting for more as well. Thank you so much, Roy.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us today. That's Mr. PC. People say, there's always a man at the background. Who is he? So that's Mr. PC. Today you hear his voice now, so everything are cool. You know. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. PC. We will talk again later. Okay, now let's go to Mr. Ishen. Let's bring Mr. Ishen on for about 5 minutes, and then we will activate the telephone lines. Someone was asking, how is he going to get a blood pressure machine? We are going to ask 2 questions. If you're able to get it, we will ask about maybe 10 people or maybe 5 people. We will put the name in a, we kind of write the name, and then we'll just select one in random, and that person wins like we did last week. Let's look at Mr. Ishen. People are calling already, but we haven't activated the telephone lines yet. So please bear with us until we activate the telephone lines. So let's go to Mr. Ishen. Let's have a word with him for 5 minutes. Like we did with Paradise City, they help to bring this program to you every Saturday. So let's speak to him for about 5 minutes and then we activate the telephone lines. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Dakun.
Hello, Mr. Ishen. Let's say.
Yami Adam Pacho saying.
Ah, Bibia or record cool.
Yes.
Na my can't my osre. Say or record. That's right. And you know, now any matter say, Mr. Sharon.
Oh, Yami Adam Kaka cry ho. Na that's also be brave. So I mean, I couldn't just say, well, friends and yen teaching common kakra. Or Ghanaian community. Na yanka say Yubusia for only Ghana for now, and other for now, with very American say, I mean, sure be brave. And then we can say, Yami, no, you are back Ghana. In other words, Wabe Ghana lawyer, ma we did what a fufu be brave, called Doma of 90s, who started Juma. I will call 80s, who started Juma to 90s, up to 20s. Let us say, I mean, or do a brain. I mean, sure, be brave one bois. Would I bring in my family, the bush and Fuina, on Quarajina, Yame, and Count. In him say, near winning me, Nabi, I'm not so be successful. The other kind of say, well, friends saying, in the budget, because last week, Uncle for Frey movie says, dear, about the high blood pressure. Now, the paragraphs cities is almost Akama Kuma, almost Boa community, Ghanaian communities, almost be better. They said one casa would be chair that would be actually that no soko. Yamia do my last week to Sanso about now. Paradise is almost as a way. The Yakasa Lukumani, Yamun Kosa and Ghanaian community. Sana Amway so almost paying for my dream when almost is Sadia. You say able to marry our board community says I will talk product maybe say I have high blood pressure package and I said diabetes package and any form of package where cancer and anything that's what to make try almost be to now with Gresta paste and I said Gresta toothpaste. I some kukra in the market. Now you can only find it in Amway. Almost be to me at your back as a portal. Now we see now gums now are stronger and healthier. And also near also a vow to give it out and then into a support community in Kakra. And a called Sukodoma and I say your team Kakra risk involved on Brahma and Kwama into me and church risk we high blood pressure it me at the bar. If it's at the same time, so high blood pressure, I just say taking it serious also and say, to make you at any time. And near the can say, young monitor by using the high blood pressure machine, that monitor, you say, go through a co-form and I say, you whom you all say, yeah, well, say action, I'll say you take it as quickly as possible. Now, say, risk involving it, say, this is a kind of high blood pressure. So, Buja, when you're Buja, Broso, and that's a Buja, and what trees, I didn't cook a crap into push much pressure or heart and or commands and pump blood. Normally, every second be an automatic 60, every 60 seconds, necessary with me up pumping nicely. But the pressure to swap only now, most of the time, or how be braided and at the brain. It's in so with a medical condition, I'm often hypertension. So being a hypertension, I just when you're high blood pressure. The risk is obeying Kumayari, obeying stroke. Obubu, no, Nina day, and as a way of stroke, I went to mean and to mean Kasa. Nasa when Sunny a day, I say a form of deformity be, and I say, since we be about whom and be a moon to mean Kasa, Kasana, also. No, then I dare not say bones on whom so. Sometimes it be banner on sa I say from Dinadi. And I say symptoms are offense and blood pressure and basically any other babat. I say to me, come poo. Now, I mean, I just a wish from crown, a sense of being a heart attack and also cholera heart disease. Until a idea, any say, grow or say Ghana for. I don't for you till we no name. I didn't say, because I believe now, which me checking, the button because I would do, let's say, a killer disease, into Yadia or say it again. yɛdidi agorɔ anaasɛ yɛde tutu fam koraa to me queen impa quickly just a second with me nti yɛnkɔ so na yɛmba yɛn dɛ yɛmbɔ yɛn ho ban yɛnkɔ so na yɛmfa nutrient na ade baako a betumi aboa na etumi control papa apart from say medical friends and na hospital somebody man when do no na dey so which mean yeah product na etumi cost ara de no kofom mo yɛn so we nya package no nti bo ha etumi ntɔbɔ say atɔ 2-3 na say be no there was a package for blood pressure so which mean try there oh no I trust you in God's name say na me wo tiase nko ade ni bakofom na wo fan say ho ato but bo ha so na wo bibi wo ho na mu di rem that on and amount sometimes maybe I will cast a meter battery or put that nankasa the water because I need right now chemical free into or a supplement into all funnel says your hunum the anti babyara problem will be an sort out now at all forever until in be a muscle but me a the good news is that in our offense and Friday no never frame or say winning say Juno apart from the powerfulness no man be me who say yes no kona so kwa yan mamini say oh is so good na so for hot water ogun na so they was winning hot water if we kuku hot water na unfortunately accidentally ni e be good na so winning so hono obapempon ni ja abe bibi where you will find saying the surface of the body no e be change no na dey could you just imagine that efficiency. Now, Mr. I testify to that. I'm a person to the glory of God. Because me no put that to be fine, but every day. Until I woman say, one no ma abon so new when I'm nigh inti me near hot water some tea. Now, lawyer, it be unfortunately no miss chain and I'm saying, what can be na it be she woman sound. Yeah, hot water. I've been a servant say, I believe. Could you just imagine someone yesterday, the man fancy in and nothing came to my body. I will find my hand. There was no indications for me, pra. I said, wow, God is great. Me once I just me proper serious. Never me say me body no, and I said skin I baby, and I said worry a year could skin a year. No, there was nothing like that. Until nothing is a for product na. I tell you, it does a lot of wonders to your body. Until never can say, Yambo Modia, now offense, Yamfa Podati, na offense, and Bow Hobe able to me guide at that bohen. Until ye can say, high blood pressure, young Kosana, yan check it, yan test it, yan monitor. Now offense, and any free. How and I say, and I said, stroker. To me then other call one yan ninda because about we need the crap na just against next first you to me I mean some I make this Italy catch me now we friends say your top pack no kwala na frame na see ya ma me ade woni onam so no problem okay na me order pack no you yes on shipping or had command or Italy na ade nkakaka monitor no when so or a pink account, Munyan so good to me, would be the man of my then. One on the to say, better than before, which means to say, so also far, improvement at the banner and proceeded to you. Indeed, the other kind of crown is say, or fancy, you say you didn't channel to be brave, so high blood pressure, you say we didn't chin be brave. And one is so ya dare and say high gain. Until say about what na and ye if you say no man sang alcohol and so or say if you be possible minimizing and I say ye jack crowd between the swab wine no but wait to so ni na and yoma ni so and emboa until we hear the causes of in a secondary hypertension now it includes kidney disease, diabetes and some medicines such as oral contraceptives near the in your names and so idea then at the Maya who named the until say about what na in the best in say uncle testing, uncle monitor, a GDA na day in a yashin ye, discuss who of high blood pressure would be in change some making on in a day, never do on a jam, also what bombardina which you number last week, yes, and I also exercise. in my exercise very good. What I say Bomadina say 1990 Kakaka who get me train again Kakaka no way practice in Kakaka na woody regulating your man. Na but me I then abwan you say smoke so cry minim say Ghana Funday met me aje that say and town smoke. Which is one of the good things. Don't say you smoke because the more you smoke, the more now you contribute to the fast fire, the factor, the risk. Until you smoke and say, "I did papa yembo me dey is hanya me na kwa." Now intimate na senche. You to put that in intimate na senche. So you may then or that my hand. To say I can last one. Put that in one car. You only high blood pressure. When you pack na you only high blood pressure who wants my problem sorting out. Who any problem be or sorting out because it's your own idea. Or says your immune system not strengthen or boost Now at the same time, so one who sells now clean. Who sells a cleaner, we were a healthy person. Who sells who a problem also just a way sells we are also yare. And to sign it and you put that in clean yourself yourself near fine. I mean, Uncle saying within that nasi. The lawyer in Porto, and the back come back high blood pressure. That's right.
Yeah, that was CP. And we say, Mr. Eshan, yeah, that was it. So, we need your number to guy just in case you be here product, you also be here support to be here. Now it's me, Afro.
But your number is 075 076 30 487 075 076 30 487. Now your website here www.amway.co.uk/user user/MESH. That's the brain. I mean, come. I mean, show me brain.
I have become addicted to it. It's very, very good. Massage more, you know.
Wow.
Because it's very, very good. Initially I was very skeptical. But I did just say using it for some time before you realize how good it is.
Exactly.
And I'm not knowing a lot of people have also called me and they have testified, said they have used it and it's very, very good. In fact, one of them sent me an email. I say, man, sample be. Man, need you see, or also so I can for product.
Wow.
And it's one of those. So far they're so good. I've been using it.
Yeah.
There was a time I'm cold water now. Me live, but it's working perfectly for me, so it's good.
Oh, great.
That's what I can say. And if you're interested, get in touch with Mr. Ishan. He'll be able to go through with you to see some of the products that they have that may be beneficial to you as well. Tino Sana etie. Yeah, that was it.
Great.
I'm on fire. Wow, don't more pay blood pressure machine now in it.
Oh wow.
Hey, obviously, please. Okay. Anyway, messages in the neighbor. Message mu pi mean to me read it. And ubetimi afre nanka waka de wo kan no. Will be so the question be about me a flash of me so or say land or per se or say if on it on sasia if I say Paradise City.
Paradise City.
And also ubetimi afre na almost so eyiwa no wine. Yeah, I mean, I'm not for people are wild. I'm not pump blood pressure machine. My main concern.
Okay.
And yes, I'm Bible Bruno. Oh my wild. Why? Until I can say be medasipi.
Okay.
That's Mr. Ishan Amway. Mr. Amway na mote na nkano. Yada masipi say and somebody will feed in that one mote the everyone. And I perceive we said two questions, but now with me try ubenya blood pressure machine. Say. Questions so opese ubusa about any topic and I say anything about immigration nationality law and I say employment law and I say family law ubitimi afre ene about 1:30 about 2 pepe ye di dwumadi nbeba na wie maso aye hye adwuma gume so pa na menkoye adwuma ne bi enti no so pese wo fra number di dwuma no amanfo yenya mbie line ne kra na amanfo aye wild afresa so far ma me say about obi afre into the emfa no na yenti di ono so beka. Hello. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What you like to say?
Nyame adom boko na mpacho di de se na kase free.
Within the Jew, we free Wembley.
Okay, man be 2 minutes na me fa number ni to dwa wan cause am for so wild. Man fa to dwa kra no afre no. Nti na me fra na me fa to dwa na obi so fra no hu de obefre. Yes sir, on beka say it has been unfair. Patrol line e ba ko two free na so bi gina so a enya hwe wo de atwen na koso chance emre ne ba ososo ye be fa e de o nyame o brajo kasa yenko
okay pacho me da say na pen so ya da wase ni onyuma pa me pacho me question is say me nue bi o worry you ni ba omo the as we speak no omo ye divorce no enti ba o ba we di 10 years e wo Ghana opese okofa ne ba na say na me question is say oba na niema enka wa obetumi still aye na what will be the processes of doing that search application
oba na niema enka ho that means untimi improve say we a family member of an EU national into application will be refused with no right of appeal unfortunately say who go through appeal and no nche say appeal no abade wie there be who go through appeal say you know you are starting an divorce and until say divorce certificate you issue you know munye njai enti na sana e wona kwa
and this is onya njai dey obetumi say onya njai no so na oba no say on ma no niema na say still ahodi ni ma na obetumi aye
still na ahodi ni se nipa ni kita indefinite dia
okay indefinite you settlements indefinite
okay and no betumi aye na under British immigration law.
Oh, okay.
And you have to pay the fees of about £3,000 and pay lawyers' fees. And to be in number £5,000. Why? To sign
but you.
Do you want to participate in the blood pressure? You know, and I say, skip.
Mami, try. We are not here.
Okay. Say, calculate blood pressure on. Use 2 methods. B. Now, some method you need the same. Reading or able to.
And to be systolic any but I'm gonna read any die
and you're quite every why
you said why just I got and
Mango show.
Oh, I want systolic first any first one any by any dialysis or so
with the train was after why you food before from hello.
Good afternoon.
You ready dear? That's something nervous. I'm on for me so far and you know you're born sharp near quay.
No matter now Michiao every now who said last week, me go so me share any more, and some of them can't them
that's right.
And to be a by Monday in Napa. Now, met that Paradise City, I've said, Yamisha, so I drink fire life with you for no decide way by the chair. Now, lawyer, wouldn't be so unfortunate to be blood pressure machine Monday in the Yajuma.
Hey.
I was a battery, chimney, one, into me doctor and a friend, yeah, let me read you, Wednesday, be our magic. Or friend, and be some say, now blood pressure, no sign in mine, I'm a machine in Yajuma, no Saturday. And I'm saying, my check it battery and be a Yajuma, or say, yes, every day, it's me say.
That's right.
And I'm catching 7 minutes, lawyer be a casa, or I'm a lawyer, no, so rabbit champion, what's it, any 3 years. Because I nature's cry and family because you see and scanning until lawyer made that sing a me shroud. And a friend said to one friend when your blood pressure machine because my blood pressure machine where a chapter had to say into a video and castle will be. That's right. That's right. It's a car. Ain't you know, me that's the brain lawyer.
Yes, yeah, that was it.
I'm all friend among you, Mr.
That's right.
Yes,
yeah, that was it. Bye bye. Mwana mo free na so betimi afre ofra e be fa na o question na we busa we swap into the emfa no hello Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you. Mpacho di se na kase free.
Kofi kase you.
Kofi di.
Kofi edu. You know the ba ona you mistake ba ona say o ka say nko correct no.
No problem. Say dia etiefo no so ebi hu do kase nti na me busa e no.
How jala no so.
Live on Facebook why? And people say do come actually they are fine. But person kasa between akasa.
I will go actually.
Sound okay. Kofi edu. Bye. Okay. One more friend also betting your friend. Your blood pressure machine PC give you out. And said my what my friend on the sa Canadian. Ayana and say and media or him media or him. Oh friend you busa question they try near their bro and tentem. Now so on Saka with the sana you see yeah no. Hello, you are live on Facebook. Hello. Hello. If I radio no do ne my why ne tie free phone ne so. Hello? If I radio no do ne my why. Hello? Let me say if I know you're ready. Are you ready on some free beam? Hello, yes. Mugu so no usu betimi afre. So what fra aye tie free phone ne so. So aka say wo tie free radio ne so there is a delay in transmission. And tie ba ne sana obeye confused. It will not flow the way we want it. And so person fra this is the time usu betimi afre. Aye line no aye 07538 969589. San line na ese wo frɛ so. Ye will be 15 minutes about 2 pepe ye di dwumadie na eba na wie ye. Say o person of enia this is the time to call. Say one phrase is here enya dia on sabeka blood pressure machine no. Eba de sana we will skip on, we will go to next week. Obi obetimi afre next week no. Na ye dia ma say nipa no. Enti no so person ofra said ye ni twa no this is the time to call. Obi amfre yemfa Holy Ghost fire shimna yemfa enkenya ye ho. Okay, Yesenia Ubifo for young family in Tidunia Code. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Hello, but I'm me answer questions, no.
So answer questions, Navy. Okay, so answer questions, Navy, and yadding. Yemusa question. Said ye human city, no, Obiaba, and your question in the same question we busa, a de frafra, because in yes, I did not know Obitia, no, prepare no saba. I could you up over, yes, sir.
No, I just said my yaba, but that's about there's a full frost out there. Okay, that's fine. Blood pressure, or calculate and answer or measure. There are two ways of measuring it. Your friend say, your friend is saying. And then no, internet say systolic, no, the blood pressure on near it's just a higher and low and a back no and a diastolic.
Idea they are, which you would tie they are. What do you call chakra? No.
Any diastole. Oh, it's like the oxygen, no, and therefore oxygen saturation, no. And that's the two main ones, no.
Okay.
In the back systole and back on the diastole, no.
Diastole. Sir.
Pacho, in a systolic.
Okay. And you didn't say in Pacho.
Pacho Joe, my friend from Wembley.
Joe from Wembley. Okay. And if you ever can say you a Chinese the amount of wine. And that's one question, no. And you can say blood pressure, ideal calculation or rate of blood pressure, are you saying?
Say be around 120 by 80. Na say by internet say system only be 120 and their son be 80 and I fancy within the normal range.
Okay, also normal range, ideal range in 80 to 120 to 80. 120 over 80. This is what you are saying. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, that was CP. We are true the answer. I throw numbers now 20 so why? Bye-bye. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. You are live on Facebook. Patrodin de Sena Casefree.
The patrol, if me, Samuel Apiana, now me appointment. The one could be as an enemy, our office was an enemy. Accounts name, account number, say coming.
Okay, Mr. Apia, you show you show Facebook on what I mean for which why?
We were to the file because can be chess but
okay, they were can outside in Tino, my main for which why? Pachopi. Okay, that's it. Mefro, you be show you be two number for why? Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Right. Among for air fray. Meant to be alpha. Into Freya, ubitimi asai afre beam. Enti yegusua ye train with telephone calls. O friend yentimi amfa, mesra was afre beam. Papa jina so no be so friends. My phone ya crawl back and share. The only across no ewono. Yeah. Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
Patrol Adakune Casana did is an in a casefree.
You me Pacho from a job bimpe.
A job bimpe.
Yeah.
And the other machine on pana.
You're from a job bimpe. Another machine, making machine.
So,
blood pressure machine, major.
When you breast over your blood pressure machine. Okay. Now,
no, and some bisacra.
And your uncle. Okay.
Yeah, I made us say, any Jumedia wedding. Now, me Pacho, say, a Japadi will fear. If I say, stores, it will fear, not store, no, well. Say, that you knew why, or ba, and not emfa. Not a beer. Obana so no or any more baby. Na o papa na why well no. Say o de shop no sublet will be. I give who she can say be a wagon 10 years and now 15 years. Maybe a man sign into agreement. Na e be a agreement no yes so nipa na what this store na man no ne hojo. And she said that you do ni wa. What they share what me e be a wa ye owner no wo ye cross be e shimo she. Said we nipa no hojo no. That you ni wa store no on hwe so ma na omo renew money pa no te say ya no store ru no eye gya no wawu afiri ho te say ya no why well ama wo ba ekyerehye store ne ye ne dia wo so dia sublet will be wo ni pa so no ni year senso ye na wo so no ne call mutual agreement no wo state say said we ni pa ni suban tie no said that you be no ni wa on hwe shop no so ma no mo renew ma no mama sense ho papers ai bibia along the line na wo free mo you see ano ne bana maye wela ma no na se papa na waye wela ma ne bana so claim say ne papa na ye wela ma no enti therefore no shop ne ne dia you see onipa na warrant shop na ma no onipa no see ano legally ne betimi atu free mo and also say ye ntimi ntu ni free mo and then my first question. My second question, say, last now we can be about Obiti Krumha, Okita British passport or ye Krumhani. And why then walk Ghana into Nipananga Samuna. You find a friend could do mensa. Our ye Krumhani or ye British in Wakodi Ghana because of COVID. And Obi area ne nneɛma as ne saman ne nam kurom a nti ne saman no akɔpɛ adwuma wɔ baabi the saman no kɔpɛ adwuma no ɛna sɛbe yɛaso asaman no ɛna ɔmo se ɔmo hwehwɛ anim mu no onipa nankasa mu no a ne fum no a yɛnsie no ɔyɛ nipa nankasa mu no ɔmo hunu sɛ ɔwɔ Africa ɔkɔ Ghana ɛna ɔsaman nso so no a ɔno no ɛte kurom a ɔyɛ saman no ɔmo bisa ne sɛ ɛyɛ dɛn ɛna onipa ɔte Africa no yɛhunu ne saman wɔ ha ɔyɛ adwuma nti na sisi a no me no kasa yi ɔtwerɛ ba akoko mu me question me bisa ne sɛ sese yɛ a yɛfiri yiyi mu wantwi ba yi sɛ yɛbɛka se yɛsi free movement yɛbɛstɔpe yɛbɛyɛ sei na bi obi wɔ hɔ a wabɛtena na ɔfe sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔ na obi kɔwia ne nsaman na ɔde kɔyɛ biribi na bi onipa ne nti kurom a na bi biribi kɔsi a ɛno no nsunsuasoɔ bɛn ɛna ɛwɔ hɔ ɛma saa wɔ nipa saman no ɛne deɛ sɛbi wo ɔno nso a ɔnwuiɛ na ɔte ase no mewɛ ne me question a menyɛ mu nkyerɛ mu kakra meda ase pii. Okay, ɛgya obi mpɛ gyina so na mewie a na yɛbusa wɔ so yɛbusa question for you know. The first one is eviction from a shop. Na emre mu no sɛ wode obi kɔ contract na sɛ wuwu a contract ni de nwui. Enti therefore no the executors Oma umbedi papa na de no they have to carry on with the contract until it has come to an end. Say omo person be renew they can decide not to renew it because new law. And that is the legal position. Name the duration of the tenancy in the I will say it must last. It must come to an end before they can evict the person. If they try to evict the person, it will be a breach of contract against the estate of the deceased person. And therefore, no, the contract in India is still valid, despite say the person has died. And no. Because one, unse obi wu a na japade enyina no ebeko bibi efe ne estate. Be create an estate. Estate no na japade enyina bekom. Ekomu wie a ense na ne executors no. Oma will no eso mu di animu ede yie tu yie say yemfa we ma we yemfa we ma we yemfa we ma we yemfa we ma we. Enti say also the ama ne ba under the will na where you find a proprietary right, it will be subjected to the property right that will be acquired during the lifetime of the person. And therefore, no, it has been given to you subjected to any restrictions, any rights that third parties have acquired. And no, just say, say 10 years, as a 10 years, and say na, what me have automatic right to dispose of it or to deal with it whatever ways that you can or you want to, because so to nipa bit me sue the estate of the deceased executives. No wait na sue wo enti na a bit me the same braba they would dare not try. Okay, right. Enti no de emra ema no enti na paper da so no 10 years is a fixed term. 10 years is 10 years. It says here asante hina na say Jamestown hene ama plot of land na okosu fie so for a lease of 90 years na yetu na de anase wawu na another kinaba osime eji asase no e wa de lease da so enye possible. It's an unheard of patcho de make what you say enti no enya de be adwuma ho sa enti no is subjected to any right acquired by third parties on the land. Okay, now you are talking about saman obi anim ana odi nam kromu ana waye se wono ana odi di djuma. Unfortunately ekromu a emre bi wo ho a onfe ni impersonating say obi pretend say oye obi na say oni akro ne nye say anyi nipa na eye criminal offense a ye chi nipa na ye din ba kotum obeda efie ase. Okay, and secondly say nipa de koye adwuma eno so no omka bibi say you have using force instrument to obtain employment and also so no utimi ekoda efiase enuti na sebio enkrata de ana all the time ne hu hia say wankasa no ubeye bi said ya onam ho a enkofa problems bia ema
ba obi wo ho a onya obi anim de sha na wato na dwenem onye na dwene se ono ankasa no obepesem na ne support atwitwi nanim ama nanim ada ho enti de bia no na ordinam no take risk unnecessary risk unse nyame ni hu se ohu wo ho kire mu pa udu obi anim hye asem nto na emom o ma ba bi si na se still udu so de grofo anim be sha ensem beto saa enti na medim se impanisma ye ken ene eba ye bu mo amuti mo beti ase enti no ana ehu behia se sebio nyankopon edu ho afofie na so nya ba bi si na se wankasa na utimi sort ho out a mentena wo se nyame ensan fan krata ni free heaven emra enu ntina justice and law ye wo no oba me a kiro ba bi so de ekwan to na watimi afa so na ede asomdwe ayede abra enti no sana akwa
okay we dey na da me da wa menim se na de office na menim se ya bibia because no phone calls ye be frɛ no because no me kai osama ne twiri mo den ana lawyer we na na kan wasemi enam se wo je krum ha ni emra ni mu ni no ye bia no ya Ghana so no wo hia Ghana emra ni mu no ya du wo ha se se cases BC no ye betime nya Ghana ni a ono so wo fia ono so edi no kware kyekere mo no mu te se wo because no asema me no kan onipa na asebio ye de store no arrent no me no kan no ye papa na wawu no eba na koye one Ghana fo akotifo bi akoye kanana ese onipa na kora no waye den waye forgery e mara ne papa tia se nyesa no kan ama onipa na sebio wa ha ne store ni we no omudi nani ntine kenya mani mu ni Ghana a cases ni bo ho a wo hwe ne ka wufia wo so no ebia wa hye no obetimi I recommend you oye kasamafo oye a qualified lawyer e wo fie so ma ye kamre bi na se emre beba mu anka ye beda wase
I mean nyame adom I mean as you may be aware 2013 ana me call Ghana koye a hososo a whole law no nyame adom ye frame to the Supreme Court of Ghana as a solicitor and also as a barrister of the Supreme Court of Ghana since October 2014. And therefore, I have been a barrister and a solicitor of the Supreme Court of Ghana. It's coming October, it will be 6 years. Nyame Adam, if you are sitting in America, you build connections and contacts. And you know, contact there, you will be brave. You will group her. Me now for 4 more, Ghana there, or more practice it. Na ebe depend baby a manson ne wo se manson no e wo baby a microphone bi wa ene metimi a link up enye big deal kra because the one penny say bia manson ne wo e bia e man pehia na e bia o lawyer so wo e bia your friend is say East Legon e ba ne sa na e ma communication e difficult enti e kiro from na ma me hu baby a land ne da me so metimi a lawyer o ben ho no mo na me de na ma na wetimi ayede edi anim ama na if you say I'm can say we will build bridges, we don't break bridges. Maybe I will be no na do hwejijija because you see I'm here me asembi to Ghana asembi to Ghana here all that I had to do is to make a phone call. I'm telling you it will get resolved. And if you say there ona mafa hwejijija the right people okay kake kade mabuma esisi so e ma so ho to enti enya big deal what they are too many me yes you be hwe de ebetimi aye amount why enti no also per machine bi awe ne na per machine bi awe ne a questions the cry no okay you must be na ye hwe se obetimi awe ne a you can blood pressure ho asem blood pressure na you can say blood pressure. You can say blood pressure. How would you define blood pressure from your own words? You can say blood pressure again.
Your blood pressure, dear. Yeah, my dream money treat me more fresh. You see, when you pan on the moja, a course rana, when you moja broso. And you know, moja broso, so no. Then a coffee moja broso ba. Well, a name of the brintino. Blood pressure ne de ka obi a sebio oni pasese onyankopon na obo osoro bo asase no wa ma doctors fo nyimudie SSO nipa biano or standard and I say or normal accurate baby as I say umoja ni drew and this moja no ebro so and I say a passo and I say baby and say moja no e drew no ada say passa hona and I say be a moja ne bafoma you have fish be a nipa no and the blood pressure no what teach my kakra na say wenya moja broso.
Right, when you mujabroso. It's a normal range of blood pressure now. What would you say to be the normal range of blood pressure?
You we teach you class 1. We teach you class 1, you know. Question with me, okay. You know, that question is miscareful.
Okay, and I would do the SM Pacho.
I'm in the job in pay.
Eja ubimpe. Okay, eja ubimpe. Okay, enya wahano. Okay, and eja ubimpe. Obeko amobi so aba.
Pacho obi so ye meda. So obi so say me misa say family law so no. Ye best no say ye gi ye mafiri ye nsem. Ye na ma say bio ya ye kobo a wo hye du ba bia ya ye ka do se be hye ye ma na ye pam ye fie no. Ene ye den kwale tutu ye nti ye say no say e ho so no. E best no na ja. Also what's my boy kakra wo ho.
And we say, but I was saying, it's an area. I was saying it's me per time. Now, you bet church and Mukakra. And I'm hoping say next week. Many time 2 hours singing on ye be family law. Because I didn't feel say, and Tiasia, you muye problems with be a court no, a so tea. Because Emre Pino, my many papa binyan toka. Na enkrano baku yusu womo, and they score points. It is not fair on the children. Se case in Poko court wa e dey be na judges no ehwe in order to make decision. E be nyanto wa se go through sani many nyina mu. E be can be about residency order. E be can be about child arrangement order.
Yeah, power chopper. Obi say my best sponsor we program na se obaye no na. Cause we say the immigration unya boss ye do kofi. But o say ka unya kan ye na kofi. So I want them back with Krumana, and also cover blood pressure now. Walking in a way, you best where you yet to woman.
And then next week, you will cover those areas as well. Prohibited steps on the and how to go about it. Because they're very important, as we all know the law and what it is. So be this in
Fire Life Radio, more units and to my account details and to now. One of the best also Marcini. Now, do my deal to me, spreading my pa and can family no now come once.
And the only across Yadana Sepa on Besobe Boni Dean, but Yadana Sing, I mean, so it's in a grenade home. Aye, yes, and Quancha DFA discane, so it's in a sanity, Yadana CP. Now will be so air free, only a chrono bit me a free beam, a month for Begu. So now, at the moment, I'm working from home in your studio, and it's me for one call at a time. Intimacy P, or friendly and me and far. Also, obit me idea as I a free beam. You'll be so by young fan. Hello.
Hello, David.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. I ran to Papa. Let it say, Pacho.
Yamiadum. Now, Pacho, and I can say.
Wow, Nipa advocate and above. I'm advocate mapa.
Oh, okay. So we be able to
but Yamiadum also.
Very good. Yami Adam. Now, and every at the end of it, bit me a yam every. What question did I and I said?
But more question about the science and answer questions.
Okay, Yanko.
And but we're doing agreement. Just say EU Britain for free no man. Obi on resident card being there, also or apply for settled and also pre-settled. And almost a guidance is said by December 31st, no resident card will not be valid. But I mean, problem is said, no should be apply when you resident card, no apply, let's say settled step, another pre-settled online. I apply for replacement card, no, you move on from EU Family Union card, so echo EU SS card.
That's right.
But they tell me say I'm not supposed to be so cast resident card and one but I am tell you but because of the Windgrass scandal, no, you can't trust the kitchen phone. Almost we know the president but anybody. But let me put that say so fiscal document again out of the account. almost you can view your status online, which is okay. Which me view, but bus airline no connect say resident card in your valid from the 3rd December. Dear document and the woman who to quiet. And then the question about for if I'm missing because I won't go any bus of it my answer me right.
I mean, I would say it is safe. Say your friend is saying residency card ni bi mpo a and I say why you EU settlement scheme ni bi na oma confirm on paper it's safe say we apply for card and we triaka now we say card yes the reason say airline for no they will not apply common sense unless they say they see the card with your picture on it and yes someone tia say into one hwe na we plane or could lose your flight and you know you have to play safe. Say apply for one. And I say apply so say residency card or with new card. They will simply give you the letter to confirm say your application has been successful. Say so two kwanya and no you may have a problem with the card. Ombeka say it's not valid and therefore no pay the money and apply for USS card inibi. Said the it leaves no doubt. Why?
But you must another question about the answer question of blood pressure and
okay. And your question person busa weni. So we calculate blood pressure. Two measurements necessary way. Do you know the name of those measurements?
So we calculate blood pressure.
Yeah.
The minister machine at the end stigma manometer, but you calculation minimum rate in the calculating the rate in the range.
Okay, at least you have tried. Whatever I mean, true with him because when you with him, it be good. You me a selective one. Don't be really near the amano. Mami you didn't be why?
Bismarck Boatin.
Bismarck Boatin. Okay, that's fine. So what I would do is say you do Dimbeka you know. So far near the say ubi antimi winning, but essay dima will be ain't you know you do Dimbeka. Why now we do come we na wa be no send them a text any number, not your send their bro.
Okay.
Okay, bye bye for that.
Bye bye.
Okay, that will be so friendly across the bit me afraid. Hey, about to a last caller. Now, you know, yemfa the into machine when I calculating I now yemfa ma nipa baako na yenko. Yemfa last caller. What friend no ubetimi as a free beam number no so fresh 07538 969 You will be the last caller. You are the dini besha ayini na ya calculate you1. Do be no away. Hello, Pacho din the same.
Hello.
Hello,
good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Pacho din the same.
Midi
Akofa. Okay, Akofa.
Yes.
Okay, now and then we didn't bit me I am.
Pacho, me person this question back about who permanent residents and 1 year we are permanent residents and we want to apply for British passport and Obi catch them say before Obi apply for British passport no it's like Obey way, Obey for another 10 years before because Niama be a whole or you know, we see good character, something like that.
That's right.
You should share some money, you know. So overstay or hands and I worry and not be bizarre. Affect you. Not person say is our partner, I am partner.
Okay, Mammy Mao answer and Musa questions Kakram Mao answer. Unya permanent residence in that
September.
Last year.
But
okay, before so Babinya permanent before say your mouth first 5 years, no. Okay, Bekruma being
2007.
2007. Until time between 2007 and 2014, no. Now one krata wo kromwa.
From 4 no.
No we didn't krata. E na problem no no. Emrane say what boomrane so that within the last 10 years at the date of the application na we are you refusing. Me ba what you say. Enti say no you 2020. And they will calculate from 2010 to 2020 what boomrane sodana by living here illegally. If the answer is yes, they will refuse you. And you know, in this case, you know, also calculated from time the first 5 years no, which in this case, you know, will be about 2014. And to 2014, you know, we do 2024, no apply. Why?
2024.
Aye.
Oh, okay.
And yes, I will calculate it 10 years back. And to say do 2024. Now I go back a short time I do visa no no. Ubos of visa no yedema 2014. Minimum month. Ebia March and I
so.
Aha, to 2014, no, 2024 will give you the 10 years. And to your application, now, sa character test, no, and will.
Oh, okay.
Why, it's the Siakoya. I train, Okoyam before CKD. Sisia Menoka say, Obi by me catching Wenty, or so be so be. Friday, me to an across Abba, you refuse, you know. I've an obligation, say, Minion who be man. I didn't meet me, meet me, yes.
All right.
Me and I'm getting Bibiamano, and so drew on the family. Me can't say, eh, and I need I know the far baby koye. Ana de meka ye no sa pepepe na abem.
Oh, okay yo.
Antino me nko to scale. Why?
Yo, but another one say nipa me ni ye krata no. Ni na enu or Germany and see me person me ko fa me ba no bra. And see na they say I may apply for a krata manu. And see they say adi nyama wo mu say and see Metre na ni krata card no be ba ansa na may apply for me banum dia na.
Wait me apply for banning straight away because who need time by 31st of December no ayeka. Entina ese utu anamon enani echine ya. Ana say oh your application akwa fa abana de wo hia ye a photocopy of ukru no ID card and as a passport.
Oh okay.
Why any other documents entina get in touch with me abo.
Your office time many time.
Your office Monday to Friday because of the coronavirus, no. And you know, you're between 9:30 to 5:30. And you know,
okay.
And you know, over to me afre number is so Monday air corner. You me book appointment amount. A emergency, you book emergency appointment amount. Na yet me akofa na ba amount before say on be close back. Okay. Edini akofa on. Okay, your blood pressure machine wa ha I dey bako e pese e dey check. Na e pese e busa question so it me twa ye the amount. When try ye do din ko be ko ballot box ni ye choose one. And why ready on?
I ready.
Okay, say ye calculate and I say oh check your blood pressure. E ye two methods bi a dey e calculate. Na method na e dey the same.
Size.
Yeah, check your pressure.
Systolic and diastolic.
Okay. Anna say okay, the second part of the question. Systolic na okay, you know.
Systolic, a high one.
Okay, systolic, you know, a day na a measure.
And a measure high top there, no. High pressure, and a measure from 90 to around 90 to 120, and diastolic is a measure down low one, so I know 60 to 80.
Okay, okay, right idea. Okay, that's CP a cover. Okay, that's fine. And we will come back to you. Right? Yeah. Okay. Your last caller now for you. Thank you
so much.
Why are they? But you are very, very close.
Oh, I arranged 2 range.
Why are they? Pa? Why are they? We're just on top of things. Yeah, that was CP. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Okay, era masipi. Let me say papa is so afraid papa friend to the friend back and fetch my dear run away.
Hello, Lawyer.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Me who say and now afraid.
I know the line is
Bibi aboko there.
Now, the question is, Sisia, a pension. Now, me go for people, some of them be able to pay some money to a mess and get back office. Now, the first money to the engineer process, and you're not just against anybody if you have coffee.
Sir.
You say the chop, the money to the open of it with the actual two warrior here with fee.
That's right.
Oh, okay, you and the vampire said you're more training the bantam now. Yababi who know process your mind.
Sa that's pa. Any ye must be a question here system because most amount for you post say. Okay. Make us say a chromwa blood pressure omo amani din bi. No e din be na mekae. Yes, you come nipa, enti omo di din bi ama no.
Ama no, well, I ask you for me. Make kai pa ba make you don't body no. No, I mean na kasa this way.
That's right.
Really am fa
ho. Enya hwe. Wo de do di be ka list na ho. The obewi ni bia no awe ni ekoye nim. Why, yeah, that's CP for calling. We'll be so free. What the young fanny pan. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon. Patrodin de Senaka free. Good afternoon. Lawyer Neka say. Oh, live on Facebook. And to obviously do. Okay.
Let me show.
Oh, me that was it.
And me friend na me bo abaso.
Me that was a for your support.
Not me bo abaso pa because I think say this is the second time I made show na me wo na fufobia arase kofobia one na mo so ebe ye won krata na so far no obi bia oba onase bia no obi enu aye refuse no obi bia ansa ka ne krata into no na me sha papa na me sure
yeah that was it
papa oye ejuma pa
yeah that was a power for your encouraging words
so and more wisdom to accomplish friends and to help people in this country and to know tuma oye no and yes to oye na friends say you are dancing we have lots of testimonies that shows you are the best if not one of the best lawyers ever UK Namisha Nudumedi Namisha papa
yeah that was a papa Mr. Napachodini say Kofi okay me say yeah blood pressure machine bi so e pese yedema obi ene na blood pressure machine be si busa question na utimi twa fine na the amount so when me ntwa so enye hwe ye do be kan ballot paper ne ho na ye choose one person na yetimi de machine no ama no juma ye di Paradise City eye omofe ana omakoto blood pressure machines ese ye mfa nche amountfo said ya Ghana for ayeti kromu ano ye betimi a check your blood pressure because ekum ni papa e wo kromu a enye easy obete we better one sorry e de ba asema wa ni tua ba bia ye free no yeso bi na eku no ana saman na eku no ana wa bi etu na duro enso so na it's got nothing to do with that entino e ho be hia e say e be bring attention to this entino if you see busa question na utimi twa na ye de amount so wentimi twa so ye do be call ballot box ni na ye choose ba ko na che say ye timi e de ama obi na mpatcho make us and I don't know say wetie from the time I started doing the program you can say blood pressure ekromu a ye wodin bi a ye de frɛ no because ekum ni papa enti omo din bi a omo de frɛ no say o kai din na say oti din no na oti din na e din ben
me bacho hypertension
the way they can blood pressure no and one it lead to hypertension no hypertension you know serious no where you can say blood pressure obi mu say blood pressure do obi a obi na embom ye wo normal range eboma ye can say we normal range ebro so kakra bi na ye pre de ben ekwa na fe ekwa hypertension na fe ye serious na ye kan no ye can say kum nipa wo kromu a na ekum nipa nti no omatunidin blood pressure omatunidin obi ane de enye normal eno na ye kan blood pressure normally you mean by that nti no edin na da so no make us no make kan ho asem ebo din no eno na me hwe se o kai a na se wote ya eyedin ben se wante so enye hwe ye dudin beto ballot box mu na ye yi baako do bewe ne no na che se ya post e de abre no na ono so etimi e de check the blood pressure na yire ne ne ma ono manya bi no nyina obi ade a check ana machine so no eye so simple say e kirew say eda danger na akoto red eda not too dangerous na abeto amber say e ho ne ho na abeto yellow say you're normal, not too green. And you don't have to do any calculation. You just look at it and it tells you. And it's a very, very simple machine. And me offer BU because of blood pressure. And then I'm a margin abasa a honest to say I was in very careful. Ubian and who didn't walk on over 2 minutes, just say within a short period of time on an echo. Sisi America, Madame Fubi, at the coma, Sutisia, blood pressure, above an engine. As you say, no, than a vegetable. And pay near was saying, I'm one and a honton. But you know what I'm saying, Debbie, sad you win. A sissy so dodo, a be a coupon, can be beach. I said, young fair so, na young who did it, not encophone tea, a beer, Sebio, Manu de Sumina, so send Quasia, simple America. Nasa to me save Vilafa, any America.
Okay. Oh, you and I'm patrol with the Fabrica, a friend saying, ballot boxes or not, a friend saying, Miss Misha, also travel like that's right. I guess I miss your papa.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, blood pressure, no, MSA, science of what you say, or more measure, 2 ways of measuring it. They call the systolic pressure. And no, it will measure your heart when it pushes blood. And then they have the diastolic. And then na MC pronunciation na I difficult ama numbi. And diastolic pressure and also so calculating your heart rest between beats. And sana calculation it here. And systolic and then diastolic. And infantry. Now, ocean normal range of blood pressure now. And no, the read the book be a the eka. Normal range, normally, most of the books will tell you say 120/90. A business becca say 120/80. And no a normal range. And to one say a biso green. And to anona yenfa into yajuniwe. And ideal pressure no on becca say if it's between 120 to 90 and also so a okay. That's the ideal. But Anna it be a 80. And no. And make us say blood pressure a tun din e wo krom anamo e din e saying you can say a din no a silent killer sane for blood pressure e be ku a unhunu e ba silent obi beda on sorry ye de bibia ye say spirit bibia say spiritual obeti e be hwehwehwe no na e blood pressure na e ku nipa no enti ye nuanom e ho be hia pass ye nyina e be ye ho dede ye bebo hu dawro na ye hu blood pressure na educate ye ho said ya ebi koto obi a ye mfa nkɔhye abrewa bi ɔtene baabi adwene ne hia ho Ghana so de sebio ohia ni nko na ye bɔ ne bayi se bayi se ya de pass ko gibi na fa bɔ ho ban entiment na ho ɛso obi ye bayi he bayi eni baabi a se bayi wo mpa bayi eni usutumi ye hwe the book of Genesis or see in the beginning God created man. You know, God created man, or created earth, or created a man, waters and everything in the beginning. Ovie no say, O man Yankop, O man nipa to me, O bibiaso. And say Yankopa ama to me, O bibiaso, I didn't assume bayi. Why are you scared of bayi? And he said, was usu bayi cry. Entina, a dino, any, anti-way, any, but the begu, bibim nature say, your road, way, media goom, make a comfort. Na just which is which. And yes, we can say via ye calabule bi wa hadamo. Enti monitor ana mu ni screen de so no me hwe from kra me de frafra na choose bi a one in random. Do be we ni na che say ye de ayede ye de ama no. Enti no ade ni monitor live and colored. Enti no ye de be mo obi ye be choose obi na ye de ama no. Na che say oni across so no e de ayede e de ahwe ne how far. Enti no ebo na che say enya ba bedru and you say a choose bako and ye be so near shed ye or winning. Do I win any idea, man? No favoritism. When do you Mame na na menhwe nipa ne di ni me hu ni eja obi mpe na awe ne no papa bi frɛ o se fe ne eja obi mpe enti eja obi mpe awe ne dia na kyese wenya blood pressure machine courtesy of Paradise City enti eja obi mpe obe text address ama me sisi a ma church mu nyina so number e wa ha no mo enti se wo text na enye wo number na mintimi emfa ma enti number na onya kro o free so no eja obi mpe use sa number na fa text me wa address any full name na yentimi impostu enye de emfamrel enti no na se eja obi mpe awene price this week price courtesy of Paradise City blood pressure machine eja obi mpe aide awene enti sana etie Nyankopon adom Nyankopon esade ene ache yedi dwumadie na abremo yebekọ ama obi susu aba yese ahemfo chiniye bakofo entena so enti no oyadako se multi menka na chese bidi dwumadie no esoso eba na wieye enti yemo sa anwumi na yemfa ntoto yenyame na yemfa na yenyame ase se wahwe yeso asama na wotwe asabeto ye eye yempaibo ese obehwe yeso na wakuraye na next week yambe ya adoma yesa the family law program na abremo menyanto boase a chirechirem family law how the law works the processor obefa so any day ubekum and send wetimi anya order the types of order ubetimi aye any the types of order wo by all means immigration important inti immigration update na afi ya chirechirem krofom se okọ family law so person okọ family law e dey na ese wo ye anako family law what are the process what type of order can you apply because for me it's important that we take into consideration what is in the best interest of the child. It matters not. Forget your emotions. Forget how you feel. It is about the children. What is in the best interest of our children. That is what must be paramount. Until next week, yanyame adom no sa de chair ya yebesai ehye biem. Said the brako fi kan e friend na odi adanse no. Justice and law solicitors, we don't joke. We are very serious of what we do. And nipa no so ba you be make sure say anamo ayetu no ebeye anamo pa na enipa so do hwehwe no ne nsa ayede aka enti eguso madam Roma ene mo support amode maye enti na yeda so eti ase yedamase Holy Ghost fire is moving like mountains, it's moving like madness, it's moving like the sea, it's moving like the shores. I will say shalom. Nyankopon enkamo ho yedamase pi